All right. And we are live. The last word. LordCognito, Ebontis, Ty Guy Travis, fresh on that Thursday evening. Kind of excited. Lightfall talk. We got things to talk about, man. E, what's popping? What's going on with you, man?
I'm just trying to stop tripping over all these W's I keep finding on the floor that Bungie spilled in my room. So, it's like
Spill with the
it's
W's.
been a good week. Yeah, so far I can't complain. A fan did ruin my Spire of the Watcher flawless run, so
Mhm.
thank you, Spinny Blades. We'll fix that one later. No,
You
but
gotta
other
gotta correct yourself because people will think Speedy Blades is the actual person because you said a fan ruined it. And I thought it was an actual person when you first told me this story. So shout out to
Okay,
Speedy Blades. He's
that
not a
just
person.
shows how little you've run Spire of the Watcher to know that that's actually a big deal in there. So that's all that means. Um,
Uh,
no, yeah, just keep thinking about wanting to play other stuff. But I did roll credits on Need for Speed Unbound, so I did roll story credits on that one.
Nice.
Um, as I've said, if you're just looking for a Need for Speed, just fun racing, cheesy storylines, sure, but just fun car stuff. Like I'm looking forward to Forza Motorsport for my like simulation, tire contact patches and all that crazy stuff that's going on. But just for some fun racing, Need for Speed, some fun. But outside of that, chat's already on fire. Thank you guys for all being here for the show. Travis, what have you been up to? Are you reviewing 6 games in 1 week again?
Possibly. I will say it's been a very good news cycle for Destiny, but let us not count our W's before they manifest. Any PvP main will tell you that. I've done it before, and it always hurts. I am playing a lot of games. I can't talk about any of them still. It's at that weird part of the year where I'm working on stuff, but none of that stuff is public. And once the end of January comes, I'll have stuff to talk about every week or two. I'm at that part where this is the gap of when I wasn't playing games, or at least wasn't playing secret games for the break. I'm a little bit staggered. But yeah, I am playing stuff. I can't talk about any of it. It's good times. I'm back on that reviewing wagon.
Yeah.
Doing previews and
Yeah.
now apparently helping out with news articles on IGN. Who knows?
Next thing you know, you're just going to be running like a whole division. So
I know. It's real journalistic talk.
The dream. That's the dream. Let's see. Travis, you got to tell your boy Destin the price of eggs are high due to bird flu and not inflation. Thanks.
It's like I will pass the information along. And for those of you who don't know,
it's not inflation, it's a bird flu. I feel like he should know that because if you've been to a grocery store, I don't know if it's what it's like over in your end, Cog and East Coast, but on the West Coast, you go in the grocery store, the egg aisle, very barren. It is just empty. It's hard out here for a break. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, it's real out here in these streets. Okay.
Thanks for
gonna be cutting back on the normal nutrition just to buy like 1 carton of eggs for like $15 or something.
That's right. Well, what'll I be chugging each morning with my workout routine, which is, as you know,
just chugging eggs and not doing anything with all the protein, so it passes through you.
I drink eggs. I drink a protein shake just for good measure, and then I sit in front of the computer. That's my job.
So are your fingers like jacked?
Yeah, that's right. That's where all of it goes. That's where all of it goes. Cog.
Quick shout out to Necromancer Zale. We'll get to that, but for the $10 super chat, no more blue engrams. That is massive W, but we'll get there. Anyway, thank you very much, Cog.
Yes, Trav. Yeah, it's been a fun week. It's been a fun week. I got a chance to go to the Game Awards in New York, which was cool.
I saw the picture.
Yeah,
things
happened.
I think Maddie was jealous of that one.
Listen, I told Maddie about it. I said, man, you know what? You might want to come. It's for the city. We got to support our city. We rarely have Game Awards. All the cool stuff is in Cali. So when we get something in New York, like, yo, we got to support it. I noticed New Yorkers, we don't support the game.
Show up for stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so we showed up. The Lords came out. Shout out to everybody who was there. And it was really cool. So celebration of games. I think Phil Spencer also got presented an award by Reggie. Was there. Jeff Keighley was there. Nice. And someone pointed out to me, shout out to Gene from LordsOfGaming.net. He's like, oh, yeah, there goes Todd. I'm like, Todd, who? They were like, I was like, God, Howard is here? Like, what? So it was cool. He's just very nondescript in the cut. And man, really cool. Very sarcastic. extremely sarcastic humor, and we just got a chance to chop it up. So rightfully, me and King had to get into an argument immediately with him about when Starfield should release. I told him, Todd, you take your damn time. And then King was like, well, you made your commitments to when it's supposed to release. So he literally laughed at us. It was absolutely hilarious. But it was cool, man. And I was the
nervous
loud
laughter, Cock, because you and King are enormous creatures that could easily fold.
Yes, yeah. Because at first it was like, yo, who are these two? I was like, we're the Iron Lords. But and then the other thing was shout out to Des. I gotta shout Bungie out. There was a category for best DLC. So they go, and it was very competitive. So really good people in there. So I'm like, yeah, they go front on my Witch Queen. I already know, but in my heart, I already knew what the best DLC. And Bungie won. And our boy, I forget his name. We met him at GCX. One of the GCX, not the one last year that when we went. This year that we went with last year we went with.
Was it like Lars or Pino or
not Pino? We talked with him at the bar. Very cool. We bumped into a bunch of times, and I'm embarrassed I don't remember his name. You know this guy well. He accepted the award. I was so happy, so proud.
You gotta look this one up later.
So I gotta look it up. I gotta go back to the videotape. But shout out to Bungie. Destiny Witch Queen won it. But enough of me rambling. We've got a guest that's extremely patient.
Indeed. So welcome to the Last Word episode number 233. This week, I think I lost track of all the W's Bungie put on the board, from No More Blues to the entire loadout article. Lightfall feels like it's on track to be an epic level expansion, and we've still got a month to go. So an epic week is, of course, deserving of an epic guest, and I can tell you we struck gold in the campfire this week. I don't know if I've seen a timeline with a better batting average than our guest. Did you come up with a joke related to Destiny? Likely already been told by our guest multiple times to nail the punchline. Considered making a meme over something you saw in the TWAB? Multiple variations have already been rendered by our guest to keep and they keep getting funnier every time. Add that to the great emblem creations that you would swear were pulled from the actual game, and these are just some of the reasons you should be following our guest. So let's welcome the Guardian who put pants on Riven, embraced the Tassie worship, gave Callus the creepiest lip implants that I've ever seen, and are now the nightmare fuel of my own, admirer of fictional bearded men, hater of all things purple, gets headaches when trying to use the color green, and is talented in the kitchen as well. Just taste the tiramisu. Comedian, artist, and all-around much-needed pillar of the Destiny community to keep a hilarious light on things. If you don't find Graviton Lance in this Titan's hands, then make sure you check to see if the count has been hacked. Let's welcome the one and only DestinyTheMeme. Echo, how are you doing?
Hi, I am so happy. I cannot talk today. I am so glad to be here today. Great starter by me, by the way. Like I was stuttering for the first 2 words, but thank you for the introduction. Thank you for exposing me as 1, a Titan main, 2, hate purple in front of all the chat. Although I do think the entire hating purple stick is you should know that. You know, you should absolutely know that. Liking Graviton Lands and hating purple is
that I do have questions.
Easy life, you know.
Yeah, I was like, I do have questions
about
about that. Are you begging for just like an ornament that turns it red as of late, at least?
Yeah, I will appreciate like a black and gold ornament. The less purple I can see, the better, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it's purple hate. No void class love. No bubble.
I am a void warlock. I am an arc Titan and a solar hunter or stasis, depends on my mood.
Okay.
So you're well-rounded, representing all the classes and all the flavors.
I think within all the flavors, one that I would like to play on all 3 classes is solar. So I'm definitely considering myself a solar main overall.
Okay. Cool.
It's a very interesting stance.
Very interesting, right, Trav? Yeah. Very interesting. I like that.
Oh no. What is happening in chat? Should I be keeping an eye out on chat? Is chat bashing me for not liking purple? If you like purple, I am in your walls.
Listen, we got some fun today. Now let me ask you this, because we kind of alluded to it pre-show, but gaming history, you know, I want to know what were the first games that actually got you into gaming.
What a coincidence is Destiny 1.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Wow.
I got into gaming like super late.
Okay.
I liked Halo before, so I knew about Halo. I read some Halo books,
Mhm.
but I didn't know anyone who played. And one day I was at this family friend's house, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you like Halo? Well, I got a PS4. You want to play a game from the same devs?" And I
Ooh.
was like, "Yeah, cool, sure, I'll do that." So he pretty much introduced me to Destiny 1. I played on his Titan. So yes,
Mhm.
I did start off as a Titan main. Don't
Mhm.
tell my hunters.
Okay.
Yeah, on the same day I tried Black Ops 3, and unfortunately Destiny is the one that stayed. And yeah.
Well, you made
So
a good choice.
did I though? Did any of us truly made a good choice by playing Destiny?
I like this kid. I like this kid a lot.
I
Good
don't
head on the
regret it,
shoulders.
but
I would say
sometimes
it has been a game that we've all gone on a journey with, and it definitely gives you a lot of ammunition every day. Let's just say that.
sometimes I think about it. If I stuck with Halo or Call of Duty, would I be Halo the meme? Would I be Call of Duty the meme? Would I not be a meme account at all? Would I become a meme account later on as like, I don't know, other games? Who
I don't
knows?
think the game really matters. I think the meme was inside of you all along.
I mean, yeah, if you look through your timeline, it's just you. I don't know if I can look through and just be like, yep, nailed it. Yep, absolutely. Just nonstop. Absolutely. Just if you thought about it being a half a joke in a game, you took it to the next level, and it's just hilarious. Destiny is nice for that aspect because it continues to provide you information as opposed to just sticking with one. Most games probably couldn't have a lifetime of this.
Yeah, that's why I really like the live service-ness of it.
Mhm. So what was like the hook? So I mean, obviously you said it's the players from Halo. I mean, the devs from Halo. Your friend gets gets you into it, and then you kind of get your class. But like, what was the hook? What was the moment when you like, okay, I can't either stop playing it or I'm gonna stick with this?
Well, okay, so the same year, that Christmas, I got an Xbox, and I was debating. I was like, am I gonna get Halo or am I gonna get Destiny? Guess which one was $2.99 on sale? I'm not joking. That's the entire reason I chose Destiny over Halo.
Which one was it? Was it the Legendary Collection? Which one? The Rise of Which one? I'm trying to figure out
It
which.
was the shoot, I don't remember. It was the I think it was the base game.
Yeah, I was trying to think like when it would be that low. But hey, this just leads to evidence for the new players entering the market having a low price point instead of all these expansions could be a positive thing. Just throwing it out there.
Oh man. But after that
Mhm.
I started playing, I kinda liked this first game ever, so I never really had any experience with other games, and I was like, this is cool, I like
Mhm.
sci-fi, I like space magic, I was a warlock, a
Yeah.
self-res warlock, in
Okay. Oh
V1.
yeah. It was toxic. I love it. Continue.
Ooh, I didn't play PvP, it's okay, I didn't play
Oh, okay. Okay.
PvP.
Okay.
I
That's
was a
cool.
PvE main, I still am.
Yeah. Mhm.
Anyways, fast forward that was in, like, what, like, 2016? Yeah.
Mhm.
Fast forward a little bit, Destiny 2 came out, I got Destiny 2, didn't know
Mhm.
anything about the game at the time,
Mhm.
got Graviton Lance, really liked it. That was when the still straight burst, and one day I logged on, and, I tried using Graviton Lance, I was like, "Why does this feel weird? Why, like,
Mhm.
why does this not feel like the original Graviton Lance?" And I just voted it after that.
Oh no.
That's a
Oh,
different story. Yeah, that's a different story, of how
you
I
was that
picked.
disgusted?
Oh, yes, it was
I
sitting
mean,
my vote for a long time because I was like, "What happened to this freaking pulse rifle?" Turned
yeah,
out Bungie, changed it, but I didn't know at the time because I wasn't on any social media at all.
yeah, there was a
Oh, that is.
time There was a
I'm sorry,
time that I
getting.
remember. No, I mean I've always been a pulse rifle guy, and I remember Graviton Lance being fun for a while. And yeah, there was a point where it just kind of you just set it on the shelf and forgot about it. I do remember going through something like that as well.
It's funny he says that because we're so entrenched in Destiny community and TWAB and patches and sandbox. But if you think about it, if you're a person like Echo said, like if you're a person who completely disconnected from social media, right? And you play this game, and you wake up, and the guns you have and the abilities you have suddenly stop operating and functioning the way they used to. You'll be like, "Yo, what is going on with this game? You've got to go crazy."
I was
problem.
going crazy at the time.
It's a huge problem for people who aren't plugged into the community. Like, you can't really play Destiny casually because you're just going to wake up one day and all your powers are going to be changed and different, and the game does almost nothing to tell you about the changes in game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woke up one day, Graviton Lance was bad, and I was like, "Well, there we go."
That's actually. I mean, we had a couple guys from Travis's friends that were brand new players.
Oh, speaking of which,
What's
these
up,
are
Cam?
these are still the messages I get from the new player that's just complaining about stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am not reading that
for
Good
the audio.
them,
For the
though.
audio.
Yeah, no, you don't have
listeners,
to read it. I'm just letting you know, like
That's
that
a lot
is
of
the new
text.
player just sending me a manifesto of complaints about the new player experience. So I just wanted to put that out there.
But I was like that. I mean, what Echo or Mo? Sorry, I'll just go with Mo. Your
either
experience,
works, all right.
yeah. But your experience is what a lot of people, because I mean, yeah, the people who are on Destiny Twitter, the people who watch Destiny YouTube videos, there's some people who just like, hey, I'm gonna turn on my console and boot up Destiny and play, and all of a sudden things feel different, or things are. Most people are not entrenched in all of this information we are, so that's actually a really good example of just like you log in and things feel weird. You're like, what happened? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Shout out real quick to Gaming Forte with the $5 super chat. I'm here with my weekly offertory to the Church of the Last Word. Bungie knows how to brighten a Guardian's Day with all the moves announced this week, and we'll be discussing them all, Forte, so stay tuned.
We got to get the homie back on. It's been a minute, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Forte. That's what's up. But yeah, it's like you said, Echo. It's just I didn't think about it like that. Like I would be in the same position. Like if you love a build, a class, a gun, and then you wake up one day and it's trash now. It just doesn't function the way it used to. I'd vault it too.
I wonder how many people.
Quit the game. I'm sorry, Getty.
No, I was gonna say I wonder how many people just went to like YouTube or Reddit or don't even know where to look. Be like, what happened to my Void Warlock or whatever, and fall into some information that they didn't know about. Like,
I had some of them just coming to me in Instagram DMs, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're like the only person who I know that plays Destiny that actually replies." And I'm like, "Yeah, listen, I'm not good at this game or anything like that, but I'll help you if something you like get nerfed." But yeah, that's what I've really been pushing for the Bungie help on Instagram, because Instagram people, they do not get the news, man. They do not get the freaking news. And back when Shadowkeep launched, I was actually in class. I was in class at the time, so I had my phone off. I walked out of that straight hour lecture, and I had like 99 plus requests in my inbox, and I go through every single one of them, and they're just like, hey, why is the server down? And I was like,
you're like, I'm not Bungie support. Sorry.
I'm not Bungie support, but
they probably misread Destiny the Meme as Destiny the game.
Oh,
they
more than you think.
You're actually the official account.
I believe, yeah, everybody's auto completing like what they read in their head. Yeah, that's actually
People
the fact that sometimes my name shows up before DTG on Instagram does not help.
People message me on Twitter and Instagram to complain to me about the games I reviewed, like I made the game. Yeah.
You're like, this game is bad. I'm like, I agree. Read the review.
Like, I wrote the review. What did you think I was saying when I said it was bad in the review? Like, I need to fix my game? What? Yeah.
So speaking of all your memery, I gotta ask if there are any of what are some of your favorite memes that you've done. I actually got to be part of a fun one. I am very pleased to announce that the Tower Wash Simulator, the Xbox game Tower Wash Simulator. I basically kind of like threw that out there, and then this is why I joke. I'm like, if you think of it, in about 5 minutes, she's gonna whip something up, and it's just all of a sudden just there, and it's like, yep, perfect, absolutely nailed. So I was just curious which ones are some of your favorite, or just like you feel like you nailed certain ones, because I'm sure some stick out.
Listen, I love all of my posts equally. There's nothing that I like more than other, except the fact that I did a really banger based on what post with Clovis, Anna Bray, and I believe Osiris. So that was pretty new and definitely one of my highlights of probably the past couple months.
Nice.
I think it was the one that that goes like Anabray is like based on science and facts. Osiris was like Seraph complex. I find it quite simple actually. And Clovis was like, "You're telling me a shrimp fried this rice? I don't think shrimp can fry things. You know, they don't have the brain power to do so." Uh, that
Wow.
might be one of my favorite ones. I can't really think about anything that I love more than others off the top of my head.
Well, all I
I
gotta
think
say
the
is just
April Fool's edit was fun.
nice.
Yeah.
What you did to Callus is
I was about to, yeah. How
No,
she
no,
did
no, no,
Callus
no,
with the
no,
bucket?
no.
not the bucket.
No.
I'm talking about the
Oh,
lips.
We're not thinking about that.
yeah.
That did
Oh,
not happen. I was not sleep deprived.
no, but
Okay.
it's just
Yeah, I'm being yeah, that's why.
yeah, that one got me. I had some
Oh,
feelings
I
about
am
it.
so sorry for all the people who opened their Twitter and that's the first thing they saw.
Oh yeah, I can't see Callus any other way now.
Good.
Mhm. Too funny.
On the other side, though, you also are a very talented artist. When you look through and you can see like emblems, which I swear are just pulled from the game, the different like kind of player models that you do. It's so what got you into? I mean, not so much with Meme, but what you got you into art? Was it like something you grew up doing, enjoying? Did you kind of get steered a certain direction, or did you just realize you like to draw and just kind of embraced it?
I grew up doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Kids are just good at it. It's weird.
I am no gosh. When I switched from traditional to digital art, I forgot everything about shading. And I just hid it by doing like cell shading, which doesn't need blending. So everything you see right now on my art account is a sum of what I don't know how to do. Just me avoiding things that I don't understand.
Well, I don't know what any of those words mean, so you're still ahead of
I was
the
gonna
game for
say
me.
you have more talent in things that you don't know how to do than what I do know how to do in the world of art. So I think you're doing okay.
I grew up just doing it. My mom was an architect.
Oh,
Like
okay.
yeah. I mean, well, not really architect. She taught landscape. So I was 5, went to the school, go to her office, see a bunch of like student blueprints on the desk, and I was like, I can do this. So I did that. And I think landscape art was what first got me into drawing. So it was just pencil on paper at the time. Just did a pencil for a long time, and then got into acrylic art in high school. That was nice. I love acrylic.
Nice.
Shout out to all the acrylic fans out there.
Mhm.
Oil painting sucks. If you like oil painting, I am afraid of you. Why?
Says a
Why
lot
would
about
you
the
do
person.
that to yourself? You know?
Shout out to all painters out there.
All
But
painting scares
yeah.
me, so I'm into that.
Equally
Yeah.
hated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No doubt, no doubt. No, it's cool. It's a talent, it's a gift. I think to me, what's cool about it is like this is why I give like Travis a lot of credit. Like besides the artistic part, you got to have the wit to be able to come up with something and
Yeah.
then put it in that form. And it's like, boom, she's on it. Like what's the process? It's just like something you just think immediately. Like, is it a very quick process? And you're like, oh, I already know what I'm gonna do with this. Or sometimes do you take a while to really put it together? Like, okay, I'm gonna formulate, and then it comes together later. Like, how is the process of the meme? I need to know because there's certain people like that. It's like a gift. Like, I don't know how y'all do that. Like, it's amazing to me.
I think for both art and memes, it really depends on the specific piece. Because sometimes I just really spontaneously draw something in like 2 days, and I'll be like, "Holy crap! I can't believe I just did that."
Ooh.
The latest piece that I did for the Dumbblade Warlock, that was literally originating from a comment on my really dumb tweet.
Mm.
And I did like that like on the spot in 2 days. But for other pieces, like for the Clovis one before that, I was planning on that thing. Because one, listen, I like Clovis, okay? I will make that very clear. I love Clovis Bray. He's great. Very unethical, 10 out
I
of
like
10.
this kid a lot. I like this kid. Saying a lot of
Um,
things. It makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
But that piece I was actually planning on for a while, and so the same thing kind of just goes into memes. Sometimes I would plan like a week to do something, like for in-game capture. I will actually plan out like maybe 3-4 days in advance, get people to film it, and then like take a couple of days to edit it into finalize everything. And for other things, sometimes I just see like a picture and I'll be like, okay, I have a caption for this, and I'll whip it up in like 10 minutes.
Nice.
So it really depends on the thing. There
Okay.
not really a process. My brain does not have a process. I don't plan things that well. Sometimes ideas just comes to me in dreams.
Okay. The visualizer. She put it together.
I was
Okay.
gonna say the true artist way. I just dream it up and then it appears on paper.
It
Greatness
just happens. I project it onto my iPad. I just think about it real hard and it just pops up right there.
There you
Oh,
have
I
it.
wish that's how it works.
Absolutely. Very, very much a gift. There's no doubt. A lot of this stuff is absolutely hilarious. When I saw Callus Callus with the bucket, no, it did it for me. I was like, that is hilarious that I see the Life Ledger. You got some classics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was gonna say definitely good getting to know you a little bit, but we do actually have a lot of stuff to cover in the world of
Mhm.
Destiny. Is there anything else you guys want to ask her before we get into that?
Yeah, Chad,
Um,
go ahead, ask away.
Before the
Answer
show,
things.
Mhm.
before
I'm
the
not
show,
looking
he
at the chat
did-
right now, so I don't know
he
what's happening.
did- He did mention before the
Mhm.
show that he's only played 4 video games, and Destiny was not his favorite. So I must ask, what are the 4 video games you've played?
It's actually more than 4.
Okay, I want to hear them.
So in order, I would like Destiny 1, Destiny 2, Titanfall 2.
Mm.
Titanfall 2 is absolutely my all-time favorite. I
Woo!
love that thing.
Talk that
Well,
talk.
you're already winning there. Continue.
Oh
Mhm.
yes. Okay. Outriders, which I thought I
Ooh.
would like, but it really
Ooh.
didn't stick. RIP Outriders. I liked
Yeah.
it for a while. Shoot, what else did I play? Oh yeah, Tales from the Borderlands.
Oh, that's funny.
Borderlands 3. Love that.
Mhm.
And of course, Cyberpunk. I
Yes.
am not obsessed with that game. I am not having a brain rot. My entire phone is not Cyberpunk themed, and I refuse to elaborate.
Mhm.
Very well.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So the best game you've played is Titanfall 2.
Yes.
Great game.
Mhm.
Not the best game, but if you've only played like 8
Ooh.
games, then it's
Yeah.
the best one you mentioned for sure.
I actually finished playing that in one sitting. So yeah.
Did you play the multiplayer?
I played Frontier Defense. I'm not really a PvP person, so
Okay.
Cool.
As you were then.
As you
Oh,
were.
shoot. Yes,
were.
yes, I see the chat.
Yeah,
Yes,
chat is good.
Hi,
Yeah.
chat. Hello, chat. Edgerunner sent it over the top. I agree. Edgerunner's got me into Cyberpunk.
Nice.
Let's see. What
I
else?
really hope I will say, like, when it comes to like some of the media we're getting, like Witcher, very good reason to get into Witcher. You got Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Arcane is an amazing standalone show. It may not get you into a a MOBA, but it's like an amazing show. And like Last of Us recently, the first episode I thoroughly enjoyed, but I just worry that now that there's actually getting a little success, we're going to go through this phase of there's a few good ones still, and we're going to get this spew of bad video game stuff all over again, because we've been through that for a while.
I still don't really understand why people want there to be video game movies.
Really?
as a film student, I
Mhm.
disown a lot of the video game movies out there. We
That's
do
fair.
not talk about Assassin's Creed.
Oh, I never actually. I like
Oh, yeah, I
Michael
saw that one.
Fassbender.
I
I
saw
like
that one
Michael
too.
Fassbender, but I
I
didn't even
know,
see
same.
that.
Yeah, same.
The movie was rough. I just don't know why you would downgrade it to a lesser medium. I don't really
Damn.
understand the purpose there.
Oh, come on. Like, films are great, and I feel
right.
like
Get 'em.
so personally,
but games
this is
are
like a
better.
very personal opinion.
Mhm.
Video games work better if you translate them to shows, but also the showrunner better have played the game, because I am not letting Halo happen again.
Oh, they talk that talk, girl. Talk that talk, girl. That's what I want to hear. That's what I'm telling you. Nobody
man.
like that Master Cheeks. Now,
Master Cheek still kills me.
Johnny
it got
Reigns.
better. It got better towards the end. It got better towards, but
No, it
I'm
didn't.
with
No, it
you
did
on-
not. I
No,
don't
it
know
did not.
why.
See,
I
I'm
even
trying to be nice.
It got
I'm trying to be nice.
worse somehow, Cog. Literally, that was a show that I watched the first couple episodes and I went, this is bad. I'm not going to watch it. And then when I heard what happened in the later episodes via spoilers, I was like, well, now I have to go back and watch the whole show because that's insane. And I watched it and was just like blown away by how terrible it was. So
Trav,
Well,
I was
yeah,
low-key,
yeah.
I was disgusted, but I will say for me, what gave it a little saving grace is when whatever episode, like maybe 5, 6, when Cortana showed up. When Cortana showed up, I'm like, okay, I can at least it's somewhat watchable now. But prior to that, I was
Cortana
like,
showed
why?
up so
Cortana
that
was
she,
not a good thing showing
Cort-
up.
Cortana showed up so that she could watch Master Chief have sex with the enemy and cause the fall of Reach with his penis. That's what she was there to do. Okay,
And demonetized.
Not-
Thank you.
Wow.
I'm just
wow,
describing
I
the
can
show.
smell the
All right,
demonetization in the air.
describing the show as it happened. How is that demonetization?
Ooh, I cannot wait.
We'll go back and check the YouTube receipts and see if they have anything to say about that.
Oh my god.
But yes, I mean, some are like something that concerns me is Horizon. You need like $1 billion budget for the CG, and I don't know how you tell. Like the opening, I could see as being it has a cool story to it, but I don't know how you make it a show that like justifies it. It's
Have you seen
weird.
Transformers?
I mean, I've watched all the Transformers movies, so of
There
course
you
I
go.
have. Like, I mean, I get that, but I'm like, but I mean, Horizon should be better than those because I mean, it's got decent material to work with, so it's like it could be better. It's just I don't know if they can deliver. God of War, is just. I think like Last of Us and God of War are things that
Again, though, why do you need movies for these?
the only reason you need it is because they're trying to get a good story, which those are enjoyable stories, into eyes that would not play a game. Certain people just don't play video games, and this is a way for people to experience a story. That's pretty much.
Then they don't get to see it.
Well, that you can hoard all
Play
your
video
little pop
games.
culture you want to, or you can share it with people. That's up to you. So.
Yeah, but why would I share a worse version of it? Hey, I like this thing, so here's something not as good that will make you go, "Oh, cool."
It's like it shouldn't be allowed.
Anywho, good. Yeah, video game adaptations. We'll see how they pan out. That being said,
shout out to The Last of Us, though.
I like that. That first episode was damn good.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
First episode was awesome.
Mhm.
Destiny. We have
Destiny.
quite a week of so much going on. So like yesterday, I'm working on kind of building a new desk. Not building, I'm just working on like I had to go pick up the top of like a standing desk, and then I'm gonna have the frame coming in. So I went to go pick that up, and then as I was driving home, I saw the article drop. So I'm listening to Fallout in his like Twitch stream, like read out some of the things that they are talking about in yesterday's article. And I was just blown away by how many like good things that were in there, and much less today's TWAB had some good stuff too. So yesterday we got into build crafting evolved. So the main pieces, the first one is loadouts. Now, loadouts, we're going to have 10 different slots. You're going to be able to unlock those in-game through the Guardian rank system. You will not be paying for them. I know there was some clarification from the new Bungie Twitter account on that. You're going to be able to create your own icons, so you can kind of label them how you want to, which is just some major stuff. I mean, there's a lot of pieces of this because we've got armor affinity is going away. We literally talked about that last episode, and we're like, I feel like this kind of has to go. They're adjusting some of the costs of the mods. So just the loadout system, because I can't even get into everything all at once, but just loadouts in general. Mo, where are you at with just yesterday's information? We'll kind of go piece at a time, but just the loadout, just the idea of being able to click a button, have everything like weapons, mods, and everything switch over in game. Are you excited about this? Or you think there's anything they missed? Are you going to be making like 16 memes out of this thing? I'm just want to see them. What do you got?
Honestly, I don't use that many loadouts. I literally use like one gun per character, and that's it. So I don't really know what I'm gonna use with loadouts yet, because there are things that I switch around, but it's cross character, and I'm not really sure if the loadout can let you transfer stuff cross character. My assumption is no, you wouldn't be able to. So I still need the companion app for that, or DIM. That's my
good point.
only concern so far,
I would-
because other than that, like Graviton Lens is pretty much just living on my Warlock. And I don't use it anywhere else because I don't use Void on the other two classes. So, solar, yeah, like my Zali's Bang, like that thing just lives on Hunter because there's nothing else that needs like my bro's Pugilist Incandescent for my solar knife build on Hunter, and that just does not work on any other class. So I only really have one loadout per class, two for Hunter because sometimes I play Stasis and want to Shadow Dive.
Toxic.
Of course you
I
play
am a
Shadow Dive
PvE
on-
main, okay? I am a PvE main. This does not apply to me.
Don't judge me.
Very well.
This does
Continue,
not.
continue.
This does
all I'm
not apply
saying
to
is-
me.
Those scions are rolling their eyes when you come in the room. They're like, "Oh God, this guy shatter
Yeah.
dive much?" Yeah.
This guy again.
Continue.
Okay, where was I?
Sorry,
I don't remember where I was.
I was chastising you. Apologies about we talk about the loadouts and you change it up and why it really doesn't affect you too much based on your weapons and stuff.
I would have
Oh
to,
yeah, right there.
like I would say I would imagine if you build a loadout, the way the API works, that you should be able to pull weapons from other characters. I think you should be able to do that, because if something like Dim can do that and save a loadout, I would imagine in-game, there's a weapon you like and maybe it's even moved on another, as long as you have like the space, like it may give you may pop up message like you need to make space for whatever movement needs to happen. But outside of that, I've got to imagine it's got to be able to move between characters. It just may take a little bit to, move stuff around and have it all pop onto your screen, but I would hope it would, at least.
So, we gotta see.
Right. That's the main thing that I'm looking for, because that's really only what I use Dim and Companion app for. I switch like weapons from characters for DPS and stuff. Talking about DPS, I am the team div. Like I am the div. Yeah, like I like using
There's
div.
usually
and
a
I just
bad word that
volunteer.
goes after div that we associate.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna say that on the podcast.
I call
Correct.
I call
I
know
know
that
about
word.
TOS. I know about TOS. Okay.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
I call him
Yes,
the div
I'm
stick.
very tempted to say it, but I know I'm not going to.
Listen.
Div Daddy in chat.
Echo. It's
Hashtag
funny because I used to
Div Daddy,
resist that name, and shout out to Ducky in the chat, female. But it's funny when I was designated one time
div
based on
energy.
my
I like the big
poor
div energy.
output of DPS. I can't front. We immediately helped the team and we got the clip. So it was literally I was the reason why we couldn't pass it. So it's funny when you get named with that designation, but you do help the team. But continue.
Yeah, but so there's nothing else I really need the loadouts for. But I guess I can make some fashion. I don't know. I use one fashion like per character. My Warlock fashion has remained unchanged since the 30th anniversary.
What's going on? What's going on with your life? Why are you not changing up your clothes?
I like things, okay? My
She doesn't
hunter
want to
is
do
just-
laundry. I mean, that's a
Well,
whole lot of
come on,
work.
dude.
You got to
You
fold
have
it
to-
and then put it
You're
away.
correct.
You ain't even got an outfit for the like the subclasses, like when you solo. You ain't got.
God, no, I don't do that.
We're gonna have to talk about the guest lineup.
No, come on. No. My characters have lore. and
Okay, that's what.
it's,
Okay.
it's mainly about their lore instead of their subclass. Okay.
Okay.
See, she took
I
it deeper.
approve. I
Yeah.
approve. I'm the trash can titan over here.
Y'all out there with the Walmart gear with the same clothes per subclass.
It's all about stats for me, man. I don't care.
Mhm.
Besides,
Yeah.
they don't see you coming if you have a rusty, a shader applied.
Like that
gear in
guardian hasn't
PvP.
hasn't
You're
washed
like
his clothes.
that guy. Why is he wearing that armor?
Here
With
comes
trash,
that homeless
trash.
guardian again, but man, he's powerful.
At least you ain't changing your ship, your Sparrow. Don't tell me you out here with the D1 Sparrow that you got from the
I
beginning.
use different
let me-
ships
let me
and different
tell you
sparrows
something.
per character.
Let me tell you
Um,
something, Cog. You in PvP in Crucible there are no sparrows, so I don't
True.
really care. what my
Travis has a
sparrow
point
is.
there.
I don't
What
care.
the ship? Well, you're not coming in with this ship on the orbit. Can I look at something nice in orbit?
I have the rock because it's funny.
Okay, all right. That's funny.
There you go.
And your emblem, how often do you change your emblem, Strav?
I have the.
I
movie
change
of
my
the
emblem
week
when I have
emblem.
to for Iron
I
Banner,
never
or I
change my
forget about it.
emblems. I never change my emblem.
Okay, so
Echo,
you
I
want to
don't
know what's
know.
hilarious about this? Is Cog is calling
Cog.
himself out. Cog is like, hold on, hey, we're gonna go run away. All right, I need an hour to put my face on. I gotta go. I gotta
Cog.
get dressed. I gotta
Yeah,
brush
he
my
is.
teeth. I gotta put the deodorant. Hold on, I gotta make sure I smell nice. They're gonna paint my nails.
I've
I
been
gotta make
waiting
sure
in the car
everything
for
is
30
ready.
minutes.
Yeah, and it's like
so
my car
fast.
just ran out of gas because I waited so long for you. Like this is, and then they're like, "Hey, do you want to run the activity?" We
Hold on,
beat
guys.
we beat it twice, and we just left Cog behind. It's fine.
He's putting on cocoa butter. He's doing the whole outfit, you know.
And Sinister just said, "Yes, that's right."
They know me. Y'all know me. I'm always holding up the team.
For sure.
I can't wait for these changes. These changes are for me to make Cog faster.
Everybody in the Iron Lords podcast clan is like, "Thank God we're not going to be waiting on Cog anymore." Oh, man.
I'm bad. I'm
To
sorry.
answer your question about emblem, I have
Yes.
the movie of the week emblem, and I just put that
Okay.
on because
There you
it's a
go.
flex. Nobody has it.
But you earned it. All right.
It's a good one.
Continue. I got to get over it. Continue.
No.
What else happened?
But yeah, so loadouts, we got 10 slots. You're going to be able to pick and set up your mods. 10 per character that we'll be able to go through. And each basically slot is going to have like your helmet customization. And you're going to be able to do this separate from your appearance customization, which will be very nice. So they'll be able to stick. You'll be able to just look at one screen, see what all your mods are, what your energy is on your armor. You'll be able to see your artifact, what you've got unlocked there. It's just this one universal screen, kind of like the appearance screen, that really simplifies a lot of things. You'll also be able to see what weapons if you want to equip there. Honestly, kind of amazing across the board. Now, one of the big things that changed is mod energy types are being removed. Now, we talked about this on the podcast last week, is like, we think this might be needed if you're going to be putting mods and not caring about armor. So there is no longer arc, solar, void, stasis, energy. It's just 0 of 10 or 1 of 10 probably. And that's it. And I know we talked about that as being something we kind of hoped for last week, but can I tell you how happy that makes me? Like, I was reading through this and I'm going, we called it. Like, we got one.
We called it. Yeah, we called it.
Or did we create it? Did we manifest it?
So, I mean, that was one of those moments where Fallout was reading through it and I'm going, are you serious? And then this is like the next game changer. Artifact mods are now unlockable passive perks. You don't have to slot them into any of your armor. You can pick up to 12 at a time. That will be the cap, but you can get free resets on your artifact at any time. And say they want pulse rifles to be anti-barrier. So once you unlock pulse rifles on your artifact, if you have a pulse rifle equipped that is a normal one, then it's just going to be anti-barrier. If it has a certain intrinsic thing, it'll do its other thing.
Cog.
Mhm.
Have you ever seen Ebontis so happy? I
Yeah,
like
this
he
is the
was-
happy.
Dude,
I really
look at
feel
him.
the
He's like
tears
giddy.
of joy.
I feel like he wasn't this happy on his wedding day. This
Oh
is like
no,
a
this
different
is
side
not
of
that.
me I'd
This is
never
not that
seen.
close. This is not that good. But I was just like, so many things that that you could. I mean, I didn't even expect the artifact mods to be perks. I mean, think about 7 energy for like unstoppable grenade launcher. Don't have to spend 7 energy on your arms. Like, my class item has literally been solo operative and weakened clear for the entire season. And now I don't have to do that stuff anymore. Now, the other side of this, it means that if I get a set of armor that has stats I want, I literally don't care about every single armor piece that drops. And that is something I wonder how they're going to make me care about armor, because now I care less once I have my
also means
stats.
that you can always have the champion killing mods, right? That's my understanding, because those are seasonal artifact mods that you
Yeah,
just
they're
pick
just
the ones
they're
you
just
want.
passive and you put them on, so they'll
Yeah.
just be in effect. So if you switch over to a bow and it's overload, it's in effect. No switching mods, no request. It's
One thing I think they should do immediately is,
Mm-hmm.
if this is the way they're going to do it, it seems like the mods you pick for your artifact are part of your loadout, and therefore should be a loadout option. Like, you should be able to say, put on my PvP armor, put on my PvP mods.
so
my
that way you get
PvP
to like
weapons,
targeting and
and
dexterity and reloading and that
Yeah.
type of stuff, which you wouldn't care about as
And
much in
select-
PvE.
and select about all of my mods for the artifact, because it's just going to be like a constant, oh, I forgot to go and reset my artifact and pick the 12 that I want this time, and then
Right.
switching back and forth. And I can see that getting really irritating.
Just for clarity, help me understand, 'cause I did miss a little bit of this.
Oh,
So,
you're good.
for the record, the artifact mods, when you unlock them,
Mhm.
right, they're not going to go into a slot in armor.
Nope.
They're going to be like an intrinsic ability, like intellect or something. Where is it going to list that? I'm just curious.
Like for an example, like the barrier, unstoppable, and overload, On
Yeah.
the mod customization screen, they have the artifact, which is probably a spoiler for the season 20 artifact if you look at it.
Mhm.
But it just shows a little barrier symbol, little unstoppable symbol, little over. It
Mm.
shows those symbols, and then some are going to be passive, some are going to be active, like a little more specific to certain things. But
Yeah.
I think that just could be the way it works. Like if you're going for the dexterity for a shotgun dexterity mod or something that you would unlock, theoretically, if it's going to be for the whole season, you might have to make a loadout for that. But then that loadout would probably just show. Oh, see, I don't know how some of that stuff's gonna.
Yeah, how it's gonna
No,
work?
but like, no, if it's the dexterity, then in theory, maybe they also might be changing up what you unlocked, because you're not going to be putting a dexterity
In the
mod
spot.
from the artifact in there. You could probably put a mod in there that's like solar weapon dexterity, which we'll get to those changes in a second. But if it's just like shotgun dexterity, that's just going to be a passive thing, I think, because there's no. You're not going to put the mods in your armor. That's that.
Yeah, that was the question. Because
Yeah.
so, for example, right now, weekend clear is the business. That is the thing this season, right? It does not leave my thing, but it's like married to my class item, right? As well as unstoppable grenade launcher, which is 7 points.
Yeah, none
which is
of that
married
anymore.
to my arms. So if according to Bungie, based on next season, I'm gonna have for unstoppable arms, unstoppable grenade launcher, which is a 7 spot. That's no longer going to be in my arm slot. I can then fill my arm slots with whatever I want, and then intrinsically, I'll have it on the side, unstoppable grenade.
Yes,
that's dope. That's dope. Wow.
I'm going a little crazy here. Mo, I wanted to ask you where are you at with like just the mods, the energy being removed, the artifact being passive. Just where did this stuff land with? Is this exciting to you as a PvE player? Is this anything that's going to make a difference to you? Is there any like big standout moments from this one? I'm just, fawning over the entire thing.
I mean, as someone who really wanted to use unstoppable grenade launchers this season and didn't want to sacrifice 7 energy, I am pretty happy, because I would go to a heist battleground and no one's going to freaking have unstop.
Yeah.
And that's why I've been playing Arc Titan and Stasis Hunter this entire season, because my melee does it, and I just didn't want to use my freaking 7 slots or use Bastion. Like, Bastion is not my favorite. I'm sorry, any Bastion fans out there.
Yep. See, somebody said it in chat actually, right as you did.
This being Bastion, I am so sorry, Zach. I apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Data. Thank you for mentioning that. That is like another thing that I'm really looking forward to, because sometimes I just don't want to deal with champs. Because this season, I was like, I don't want to use HC in heist, and there were just very limited options for me, because it ended up like my only options being Bastion and melee, and I was like, I'm not going to use Bastion, so I was just destroying my little stasis stuff everywhere. So I am really looking forward to all of that champ changes, because PvE player. Yeah. Choke clip. I don't really use choke clip stuff, but I think for like slowing down, yeah, it might.
Yeah.
Devil's Run. Yeah,
I
guess
see. I
Devil's
always
Run
forget
is-
about Leviathan's Breath, Devil's
I
Ruin
forgot
as
about
a
it too.
sidearm. Like I think the laser beam does it, right? There's some that I
Yeah.
just don't even think about sometimes, and people are like, "Oh yeah, what about this?" I'm like, "You are correct. I just smooth forget."
Actually, I might like License. But okay, I might piss off Chad here, but I hate sidearms with like a burning passion.
No, I mean sidearms are. I don't think you'll
You guys
piss
are
people
such
off.
PvE people. I can't deal with you. Right
My
now.
Brigand's Law is level 97.
Ooh,
right.
that's a lot.
Like
Pretty good.
I mean and honestly, like there's the one thing actually about Brigand's Law that I won't bring it out, because I think the range, especially on mouse and keyboard for me with an SMG, I can do more with it. But just the fast reload of a sidearm, it's like like you just switch the clip. It feels like Brigand's Law for that season. As soon as I got it crafted, I could not put that thing down. So there are things about sidearms that I do enjoy using, and there's one in PvP I used too. It was an Iron Banner solar full auto one, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that one. That's a sidearm I actually enjoyed using in PvP, because it may have been for bounties or for like the Iron Banner quest when they did it. But it's rare. But if one does find me, I'll use it, but most of the time I won't. So I'm with you, Mo. Most of the time sidearms do not find my inventory, but there have been a couple. Like last season for sure was one.
Yeah, people are like, "Oh yeah, use the vote shot break and slot," and I was like, "I don't want to." But also, I said the same thing with SMGs for like the past couple years. I was like, I hate SMGs. I would never use an SMG. My Aikilo's SMG is like almost level 40 now.
There you go. Yep. Welcome
There
to
you
the
go.
party.
I
Yeah,
used to be
Volt
like that
Shot,
with
Feeding
SMG.
Frenzy, enhanced on that one. Yeah, that's mine is. I don't know what level mine is yet because I just crafted it recently because I got one to drop early, so I was using that. So then I'm trying to craft it up and level it. But no, yeah, that'll be my ad clearing weapon for a good minute.
Yeah, and before the season, I have been like, I hate crafting. I would never craft, and then I can't get a bow shot SMG to drop, and I was like, okay, you know what? Screw this. I'm crafting.
There you go.
That's the first crafting. I crafted 2 more after that. Turns out I don't really hate crafting after all. So
Hey, made it
things
much
might
better.
change about sidearms. I liked Devil's Ruin when it first came out, but it didn't really become like my favorite thing. So I've used it for like maybe a week, and that was it. Yeah.
Fair. Another big W. Goodbye, match game.
I know.
Oh
my god.
Wow.
I did not expect that one. I
That
think
one, yeah.
the like unlockable passive perks is one thing, mod energy being removed, but match game going away?
Oh, match game. Oh my
going
god.
away
Get
on
out of
everything.
here.
It's going
Like-
away on high difficulty activities, which is basically the only place it really exists. Is your legend and
Yeah.
your master difficulty things is when they want to lock down your loadouts, and they're like, all right, never mind.
Yeah. Like finally, I don't have to use like annoying things that I don't want to use. It feels so good. Holy crap. Whew.
Yeah, match game. That's big. That's big. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
Did
it's
not see that
huge.
coming.
And
Trav, you was-
I feel like most people likes this decision. One guy was like, well, that just like okay, so this was someone on my Twitter comments that really confused me because they were like, "Oh yeah, like match game is not hard. You're just bad. I bet you have never cleared GM, and I'm here like on Conqueror 4."
talk your talk.
Call him out. Thank you. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was like, match game is just a bad and restrictive feature that shouldn't be here in the first place.
Trav, you was about to say
Definitely
something about match game.
irritating. I was going to say it's definitely irritating. I wonder what the purpose is going to be with elements then, because we're on the verge of having 6 elements and 2 for each, or 3 for each slot. And I'm wondering, is it literally just that you break shields a little quicker and you make a little explosion happen? Because that doesn't seem like a game changing / game altering like mechanic to me. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's got to be some reason to have these elements, and unless they actually start adding status effects or something else that we've been talking about for a while, I don't really get the purpose of them at
A
this point.
lot of the elements I think are going to go into more of like what were elemental wells, and they're kind of changing over. A lot of the arc, the solar, the void, and then now stasis, and then strand, they're going to have some elements related to what you use for weapons, and then I think you are going to get the benefit. And I think honestly something like this might give them a chance to make some perks related to breaking shields. So if you do like end up matching a shield, maybe they can embrace the breaking of a shield to be more effective. Like maybe if you break a void shield, it's blinding, or if you break an arc shield and you match it, maybe it's a little bit of a quick jolt or something. That could be
that's more what I'm talking about.
That
I
would be
think they
cool.
need. I would actually say that they probably need to match the effects that each of the elements have with breaking the shield using a matching weapon or something like that. That way it's not necessary for it, but like you can't apply whatever the burning effect is to an enemy unless you do it with a solar weapon to break their shield or whatever. I feel like something like that has to happen, because don't get me wrong, I hate match game. I think it's so stupid. It slows the game down. It makes you have to have other people be loadout Nazis about what you're using and that sort of thing, which I hate. Yeah, I'm happy that it's gone. I'm just saying that elements are a huge thing in Destiny still,
Yeah.
and I'm just wondering what the heck they're doing with it, because it seems like they've had a plan for a really long time for getting all 3 of the void elements and the light elements out there, and I'm just waiting to see what does Destiny look like with that stuff.
See, that I feel like could be like 6 months from now, we get a patch where they kind of update the way those work. and that could be a bigger system change. I think right now is they're doing a lot. And
Yeah,
again,
didn't they-
but that does definitely sound like something they should do if they're not. Bungie, if you're listening, I feel like that would take because they are leaning more. The more we read through this, they're leaning more into. I'm gonna be a solar top to bottom subclass, weapons, abilities. Everything makes a difference, and I think if they can do that, and then you go into an activity, you may not be as effective if you go in there. But if you match and everything's got a bunch of solar shields, then you're just like going crazy. So we got, let's see. So match game is being removed, and we are making a few tweaks to how you can do damage to different types of shields. Base shield resistance to non-matching damage types across the entire game is being adjusted to 50%. It's similar to Gambit, apparently, which I don't know. And we will have some other ways for you to do bonus damage to shields that they'll tell you about before launch. So there's other ways to do bonus damage. But again, I think what you guys are saying, especially Travis, the way to don't have it as restricting, give you a benefit for embracing the same shields. Or if you do match, then there is still a benefit to like, hey, I'm running a Solar Hunter, Cog's running a Void Warlock, and then we're going into an activity that's Solar and Void shields. I know which ones I'm focused on. He hits the Void ones, we get the benefits of both. I think that could make the game really fun.
I feel like if you're doing like speed runs and GM, or you're trying to do like a score attack or something like that, you should have to communicate with your team about who's going to have the loadouts and who's going to use what element and how you're going to synergize on that. It just doesn't feel like it's really an important part of Destiny right now. And match game was like the only place where that was true. So I'm just like, especially they're taking it off of armor now too, right? Or
what?
I guess the mods don't matter, but it still has an element. I'm kind of
no. The mods don't have elements anymore. No mods have elements.
No, I know the mods don't, but does the armor?
No.
Okay, yeah. So now they're just this is a massive debuff to the idea of like elements in Destiny.
It's weird. I think shout out real quick.
I feel like they changed it. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna shout out real quick to Sephiroth out there. Alex, has anyone brought up that Strand is the 5th element? Lilu Dallas multi-season pass. Missed opportunity. Lilu Dallas multi-pass, of course. 5th element, great one.
Salute. Seth, what up?
How you doing? Sorry, Mo, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just saying, I feel like they changed the entire element system, because turned out there's too many elements, and you can only carry, like, maybe straight into a GM, and if someone wants to solo it, and there's, like, 4 freaking shields, that would be a problem.
Yeah,
I
I was always wondering about that, because I was like, because we have stasis weapons, but no stasis shields.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I don't think there's gonna be strand shields either, so it's never really come up. But two of the elements are basically useless.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Strand and stasis are basically useless to have on weapons.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
And the problem is I love stasis weapons. Some of my favorites. I love Disparity. I love Vopecula.
That's my
I know it's
favorite.
180.
Yeah.
I stand for 180s.
Oh, you and I disagree so hard on that one.
She lost me there, but
she lost me. I can't do 180s.
No, but tell us.
Okay. But we can't agree on ES Luna, right?
IS Luna, of course, and
Yes,
Disparity. I mean,
there
we got 4.
Yes.
If you're on an aggressive pulse rifle with the 4 burst, we're there. I just can't do 180s, so we can't win them all.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Disparity is my new baby. Like
Yes.
I loved Blast Furnace, and I feel so empty after Blast Furnace is gone. Like I have
my
been
brother-
crying inside.
Shout out to Stone, my brother. He's like, when are they bringing back Blast Furnace? Because that's when he's coming back. He literally says if they bring back Blast Furnace, he'll finally come back in.
Hey, he should try Disparity, because that
He
is
needs
my
that.
Kind of what I was trying to
tell.
tell him. I was like,
Tell
you
him.
have like 3 of them this season, but yeah.
You can craft it. Yeah.
I did craft a Disparity.
Echo, what's your disparity? What you rocking? What's the?
I have Rapid Hit and Headstone, because I am a
Nice.
Thosi Stasis Hunter.
There you
and
go.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
But also, I love Quilliam's what's the name? The King's Fall HMG.
Oh, Quilliam Terminus or whatever.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I love that thing. The second I got it, I got it with like dynamic and headstone. I was like, I cannot put this down.
Nice.
Lovely.
fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Now,
Yes, we got
not a full W, but a good thing.
Mhm.
Champions are still going to be in the game, so we're not getting rid of them. But
Yeah.
we're getting about as good a victory as we can get. We are getting class ability ways to deal with champions. So, for
Kinda
example, barrier champions, if you volatile rounds, they will pierce the barrier. If you're radiant, your attacks will pierce the barrier. And then Strand will also have a method. Overload champions, if they are jolted, that one makes too much sense. That one's easy. Suppressor grenade, also. So if you suppress them, and then if you slow them with stasis.
That's where the entire choke clip thing came in.
Yeah, exactly. So what I saw on Twitter, and then I think Blackwing sent it to me, was if you have chill clip on, say, Riptide, for example, like a fusion rifle, your first shot would slow an overload champion, theoretically stunning them. Your second, if you have 2 shots from chill clip, it would theoretically stun an unstoppable champion because that'll usually freeze them and shatter them. And then if you're Radiant, you can use that same weapon or any weapon to deal with barriers. So one weapon theoretically could do champions. So you're going to have, it sounds like, a lot more flexibility. Stasis turrets, S&B said. Like, I mean, just chunk those out there and you're just going to be messing up champions. Because stasis turrets, overload with the slow, and then unstoppable if you totally can freeze them. So, I mean, that's 2 just from one turret. So while they're still going to be a factor in the game, and it's just, I feel like these are going to be nice options to be able to be like, you know, maybe I just need like one weapon to deal with champions. I got enough other options here for backups. I'm pretty good. I feel like these are nice additions to be able to kind of just give you a little more flexibility. It's not quite like running through the legendary campaign with no champions, but it's probably about as good as I could ask for with them still being in the game, I think. Travis, where are you at on this one? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, I'm not fully happy about this. Not because the changes make it easier to deal with it. I love that. I love the flexibility. I love the fact that they're making champions less irritating. My problem with champions has always been it is the least creative solution to making, you know, a level in Destiny, right? Like, oh, we'll just throw this creature. And now that they're so easy to deal with, I would argue probably to the average player, you know, just throw a grenade at it. Pretty much any grenade's going to do something to it since it's a class ability. Then that's sort of like an easy fix in my mind. And I'd really like to see them get back into the business of giving you creative obstacles like the light bearing hive or something of that nature. These unique mobs that actually impact the game and give you kind of a unique challenge. And so I'm glad that they're doing this with champions. I don't necessarily want champions to disappear altogether. I think they're okay, you know, especially now that you can deal with them more easily. The fact that they are not getting rid of them though and doing these things to make it easier to get through them just signals to me that this might continue to be their solution for high level challenge. And I'm not super thrilled on that. I'm glad they're addressing it. It is in no way going to be worse off in the future than it is right now with the champion situation. But I want them to try other stuff. And I feel like they've been tweaking champions for years now, right? Since Shadowkeep, they've been tweaking champions. And I'm just sort of like, when are you gonna give up or try something new? And I thought we got there with the Witch Queen, but I don't know. They keep playing with this toy that nobody cares about, or nobody likes rather. I guess people care about it. They're just not really happy with it.
Yeah.
So
And
it's weird.
Yeah.
they do. I mean, chat mentioned, I was going to get there too.
Yeah,
Tormentors in Lightfall are another addition to an enemy that is unique. Doesn't seem like it's going to have champion mechanics, but it could be still a lethal thing. I think that's going to have like ability suppressing if, like, you know, when it kind of grapples you, or they mention like ability suppression in actually Neomuna from whether it's the Shadow Hive and stuff like that. So I think they're going to be a different way to say, now you really got to lean into your guns. You're not just going to be able to super or whatever. If a room is suppressed, for example, because this one big guy is up, you now don't have a double jump, don't have your barricade, don't have nothing. Like you're going to feel naked. So that's going to
take away your shields too.
That just feels like the Hive guys in Heist.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I like.
and I think they were probably a tease for Tormentors, possibly, because they might function in the same way. Yeah, when you get suppressed, because early on in the season we were a little lower level, and also like people were not playing as smart. When the Death Tongue Choristers, all of a sudden you got suppressed, and you got the what are they called? The little shooting purple eyeball.
I know. I'm forgetting that.
Thank you.
Okay.
When the three Shriekers were shooting at you, all of a sudden I was like, I can't move fast enough. I can't get anywhere. And I died multiple times until I like learned the focus. So the suppression was major. And again, I'm just hoping, but also like on Travis's side, it's like we've had Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, Witch Queen. Now we've got Lightfall, and the champions have been the same, basically out of tweaks to hopefully they work correctly. But the champions have been the same for 4 years, and yeah, we get more ways to tackle them, but we don't
Some of
have.
them have been bugged since the beginning. I
Yeah.
know you talked about that, E, as well.
Overload champions still are not great. Unstoppable's reliable. Barriers hit or miss. Overload definitely depending on the enemy you face. So it's like they haven't introduced any new champions. We don't have like a fourth one to kind of keep you on your toes a little bit. Maybe that's too many mods to manage. I don't know. And again, so if it's not champions, but they do something like Hive Guardians, but you see them in like one little space. Yet you still have to go play the rest of this game. They're not, they don't rework strikes to put them in there. I mean, the Scarlet Keep. Why does that not have Hive Guardians in there once those have been introduced in the game? Maybe it doesn't make sense in the lore, but mix up some of the mechanics and strikes like that just to use this cool thing that you made. Like if we get a Tormentor and it's on Neomuna, but that is the only planet we have it on and it doesn't venture out to any other part of the game, it's going to be a cool idea, but it's really confined to one tiny spot. And I want them to use those in a broader spectrum of areas. If I'm walking around on Nessus and all of a sudden a Tormentor just like lands like a world boss, then we're talking. But right now it just feels like they're a little confined.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that the hope is that the Tormentors could do that, at least the way they was explained from a standpoint of, they're supposed to invoke serious fear to the player on the battlefield. So we'll see what it is. I'm in agreement with you, E, that hopefully that, that Hive champions as well, Hive Guardians as well, will be introduced other places as well to add to that kind of difficulty level. But yeah, the champions thing, this is huge. This is huge for me. I mean, this has been a real pain point for me this season because I really like the seasonal. I like Heist Battlegrounds a lot. And I find myself playing a lot, which is the most seasonal activity I've ever played. I do bare minimum seasonal activity, to be honest. So it really started to hit me because, I like the weakened clear artifact mod a lot. I like running a grenade launcher, but it really restricts my creativity. There's a loadout right now that I love with Arc 3.0 that I kind of made myself, which is kind of the Arc Trace Legend of Acreus.
Ooh.
Right? And bro, Legend, people sleeping like that, bro. It just mauls things.
Yeah,
you don't care how
it deletes areas.
Deletes. I'd be like, oh, you think you're a chunky boss? Get up out of here. Like the only thing that it's a problem is if it's someone far, right? So I could do something either a sniper or something in kinetic. Oh, I still got the trace for whatever. And then I sit there, I'm like, damn, I have to put on an anti-champion. It's like what Echo said. It's like, no one's going to deal with these damn unstoppables. I gotta put on a grenade launcher. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. And it just, I don't know. So I put it in the kinetic, but I'm kind of locked to this same loadout, right? And I want to experiment. I want to do other things that's fun. There's loadouts right now that are really fun, and you get forced into this play style. So yeah, this is huge for me. I want to see how it applies, across the board with the different abilities and stuff. But this is a good start. Because it definitely inhibits creativity when you're forcing, all right, who got the anti-barrier scout? Who got the it's just so demoralizing. But yeah, that's where I'm
at. Next thing we got is Armor Charge. Now, basically, it sounds like Charge with Light, Elemental Wells, all of that type of stuff is kind of going to be wrapped up into Armor Charge, which is pretty much going to be like the function of taking charge. If you pick up an orb, you get Armor Charge. But now that functionality, you don't need like a taking charge 3 energy mod to get it. You just use an Armor Charge mod. So again, this is still an improvement on the system as well. I said the default will be 0 to 3. You can stack up to 6 if you get the right mods in there. Certain things, like if it's a passive buff, which I would picture, what is the Protective Light, like the Void Charge with Light one? That would probably be more of a passive buff now where you take a little less damage, but at every 10 seconds, it's going to take one of those armor charges off of you. But also the idea of if you high energy fire, you kill or you shooting an enemy, when that enemy dies, that'll probably strip one off as well. So similar functionality, but I think everything's going to be converted into like one armor charge system with just one counter on the side of your screen. And then Elemental Wells are being changed, of which I don't know what these are all going to do. Ionic Traces, we know what those do. Solar is going to have Fire Sprites. Void is going to have Void Breaches. Stasis shards are going to function in the same way, and Strand is going to have its own object. So we've got Ionic Traces. We know how those work. You pick them up, you get ability energy. Stasis shards, you've got some functionality you can do with those. Fire Sprite, Void Breaches, and Strand, those are going to be new. So your subclass 3.0s are going to get a bit of an update just to find some functionality out of those. We'll have to see how those actually work as well. Is this... With regards to armor charge, do you guys read through this and be like, I need to read it 2 more times just for it to make sense? Or did it you guys did you wrap your head around it?
I'm gonna be real. I don't got enough attention span for that.
That checks out.
So my entire thing is I'm gonna go in blind and I'm gonna figure out how that works on the fly. Because I am not reading all that.
Be the meme you wish to see in the world.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I try not to understand systems until I see them in action because I feel like what it looks like on paper is almost never how it turns out in the game anyway. So you're just kind of wasting time. But yeah, I'm generally kind of optimistic about the changes. I think they're long overdue, and I don't think they changed enough. But that one, I think I get how it works.
yeah, I'm
And some
definitely
people
looking forward
Some
to the
people in the
change.
chat are saying they're just going to watch your explainer video, which is
Well, I
also
mean,
a
that's the
good
thing. It's
strategy.
like, I watch other content creators too, and I'm in the same boat as them. It's like, I can read through this, and as you said, I can read it on paper, and I could probably give you a decent theory of what's going to happen. I can be like, hey, match game isn't going to be a thing, so Arbalest actually may not need to be your #1 slot in the kinetic now. It's a linear, so it's still got some damage, but maybe I want to use Revision 0 as my pulse, and then I have like a fusion rifle or a trace rifle or anything else. I think it is going to have some good benefits on any of this stuff. But until I get my hands on loadouts and understand, okay, you select these mods, you save it here, you can change your icon and you color and you save it. What does it save? Does it pull weapons from other characters? Like, until, as you guys say, we get our hands on testing the functionality of all the crazy stuff we're talking about, it's cute in theory, but yeah, making a guide or explanation video on something I'm reading about, yeah, it's only going to go so far. So, but from what I am reading, I think everything does look pretty good.
I still want
RIP.
set bonuses, E. I'm not going to.
I'm with you on that. I would like to see set bonuses that make the map. That would be one of the ways to make. I think you might be muted, Cog.
Yeah, I always want that.
That might be one of the ways to make armor matter, because right now, if I don't need armor affinity, and I get my resilience, recovery, high discipline, and strength, if I get that build going, and I don't ever have to touch anything for armor affinity, I'm not going to care about half of the drops in the game. And I know I've said this before, but even now, more so now, because I don't need an arc set, I don't need a void set, I don't need a solar set, I don't need 4 sets of armor. I need 1. If I'm a PvE main, I'm good. Now maybe I could do a little more mobility in a PvP set, but I need 2 sets of armor and then exotics.
I mean, a worse version of this would be that he's got the hiccups, everyone.
Yeah, I know.
A worse version of this would be if you just made the elements the set bonuses, right? Like keep elements around, and if you have a full set of stasis armor or 4 pieces that are stasis, then you get some stasis set effect, right? Because then you don't have to make 5 sets and 5 bonuses. It doesn't solve the problem of people caring about rolls, because then all you have to do is get 5 sets and it's over. But it's like a stopgap measure that, again, I'm just so perplexed by some of the choices, because I feel like Destiny's in a weird transitional sandbox, and some of its mechanics are so legacy they don't really fit in current Destiny anymore, and you're kind of like, why are these even in the game? I don't really understand their purpose. So I'm still trying to wrap my mind around where Destiny's headed. I thought I knew, and now I'm looking at this going, maybe I don't know, because I really thought Elements was going to be a big part of it, and now they're like, no, not really. I'm like, okay.
We're all that away.
Yeah,
these are major changes.
Yeah, Artifice Armor is getting a little bit of functionality, more than it has actually, because then that extra slot, you're going to be able to put, now again, I don't know the price of the mod, and if it's overpriced, it's not going to be worth it, but in the Artifice Armor, theoretically, you're going to be able to get a +3 stat mod in that extra slot, because now there's no extra artifact mods don't go anywhere, so you don't need that slot for anything, but you will be able to add. So again, theoretically, if you did Artifice everything, and if it's not too much, if it's 1 energy, maybe 2, you could theoretically get +15 to some stat if you just go full Artifice. So there is a benefit to it, even more than there used to be. It's not a ton, not going to be a game breaker, but a little bit more than they used to. I forgot about that. I skimmed over it at one. And also pour one out for Warmind cells. Warmind cells are going bye-bye.
Yeah.
Probably
It's a good
overdue.
one.
See,
They
Warmind
were
cells
they were
is
limping for a while.
Warmind cells is weird for me because I loved using Warmind's Decree. RIP that mod. Oh my god, I miss it so much. Like Graviton Lens plus Warmind's Decree, Void Explosion triggers Warmind Explosion. That thing just goes off. But after that mod left and then they nerfed Warmind cells, I haven't even seen people using Warmind. Okay, never mind. I lied. Someone in my raid team last week was using Warmind cell, and I was like, holy crap, a Warmind cell in 2023? Wow. And I just don't feel like enough people use Warmind cell nowadays to like to have the reaction of like, oh no, Warmind cell is leaving. Like people don't use it anymore. But
It
yeah,
had its run. They kind of got nerfed, and now
Yeah.
it's time
Yeah.
for them to.
Yeah.
It's time for them to move on to greener pastures and go out to the farm. So
I mean, I personally haven't moved on from Blast Furnace yet, so I understand. I understand why you would be sad about leaving, but yeah.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, it was a good run, but
Yep.
it's gone.
Yeah. I still have my Blast Furnace in my vault.
nice. I still have my Go figure. So I had to keep mine.
Had to keep it.
I have my Go figure, and I have the sniper rifle that I used in my Whisper of the Worm video. That's never getting deleted.
Nice.
That
Nice,
one's
nice.
staying forever. That wasn't even the TWAB. That was pre-TWAB. That was yesterday. Today,
Yeah.
we also got a massive TWAB. Now, the sandbox stuff I'm not going to go deep on because a lot of that's very wordy, accuracy cones and stuff like that. Fire Team Chat, great podcast for that one. And you can sit there and break it down, and I read through it on stream earlier, but not what we're going to be diving too deep on. But we do have some major changes.
Bad.
So the top of the TWAB is like the TLDR of kind of the last week and a half. Grandmaster changes. We also talked about that last week where you can get into those at 1580. People started doing Grandmasters 40 levels below power and still are doing them. I think Esoteric had minus 40 power level Grandmaster done in the first couple of hours. It's inside Terminus.
Wow.
Apparently it's not too bad. We know Iron Banner Fortress, the reputation's going to be coming quicker. It's also going to be 3 times a season in future seasons. And everybody got the armor mods. And if you are Guardian rank 6 in the future system, whether they're going to be putting it the Guardian rank system that they're doing to kind of guide newbies through, which most everybody who's been playing for a while, they say you should be rank 6, you're going to have all the mods come next year as well. Focusing cost will be cheaper. Most of that was there. So this time we got a new trailer for Neomuna. Did you guys watch the trailer? The environment trailer? Is it looking good?
Oh yeah. I mean, I love this kind of vibe, like the entire neon lights, stuff like that. I just freaking love it. So I am very happy right now.
Nice. What are you most excited about for Lightfall?
I don't know, honestly. Not really Strand. It's just there. I'll use it. I'll try it. I love the little puka fish. They're
Nice.
great. I think I just want to be in Neomuna. Like, come on,
Just
like,
the destination. Okay.
yeah. This is Cyberpunk related. I just really like this entire vibe. So yeah, I just want to be there, sit there, like enjoy the little arcade. You know,
Oh, the arcade was funny.
the arcade. Yes.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it was
I
cool.
feel like Travis is the other side of this coin. He's not digging on the villain, doesn't need the neons. Where you at, Travis? I gotta know.
It feels like a season to me.
Oh really?
Mm.
That's
Everything I
interesting.
see feels like a season.
Hmm.
That's all I gotta say. It just feels like a season. It doesn't feel like the penultimate chapter of a epic story. It feels like a little side. I get the same vibe I got from the season of the Plunder. To be honest with you, I get the same vibe.
I
It's a
see.
fun little side escapade that has nothing to do with anything important in Destiny. That's
Well, I hope the story proves
Sorry.
you wrong. So we will.
And G-Man says, Travis, why do you hate fun? Same reason I hated Season of Plunder, I say to you, sir. Fun is sometimes kind of stupid.
Well, all I
That's
can
gotta
say is if the
Mm.
narrative team delivers what they have been doing for a while, I'm hoping they change your mind in a good way. That's all
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm reviewing it, everyone. I'm officially reviewing Destiny 2 Lightfall for IGN.
Nice.
So either
Nice.
way, you're gonna have to hear my opinion. Sorry.
And by the way,
and,
like Cog and I cannot steer the score anywhere. He's gonna put whatever he wants on it. We
Yeah,
can't
he's
be like,
very-
if
yeah,
he's
I'm
if
an-
he's
I'm
got
an
this bias
immovable
against
object.
Callus,
Yeah.
and we're like, dude, Callus is freaking amazing now. This is an
He's
awesome
not, though.
villain. You don't know. Maybe we get some epic story going on. I just have to
I hope so.
see.
Look, I love Destiny. There's a reason I've been playing it for so long.
I'm
but
giving you a hard time. I know.
the people who play it the longest are its harshest critics. So it's not
Mhm.
necessarily a good thing that I'm reviewing Destiny, because some schmuck might come along and love everything about this expansion, and I'm gonna bring some historical perspective. So there you go.
Mhm.
It'll be fun.
He's the voice of reason in the world of fandom hype.
The
Like,
voice of
thank you.
reason. Yeah.
No,
The voice
like-
of
I
reason,
like-
and just a little healthy.
No. I get what you mean. It's just like the- I know some people are gonna be like, oh yeah, like why are you so negative about this? And then there's gonna be people who are like, oh yeah, why are you so like overwhelmingly positive about this? It's just perspective. It's always good to
Sure,
hear other people's
totally.
perspectives.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I thought it was cool. My actually favorite part, besides the aesthetic, which I absolutely love, is when the Cloud Striders came and you had that that confrontation between the Guardians and stuff. I want to know about Strand. I want to know about why. Obviously, we know what's going on this season, why they've been so quote unquote hidden, so to speak. But I want to know, this power source, how we got it. This is my gut with this whole thing. I'm with Travis on I don't feel expansion, oh my God, levels that I'm used to feeling with this. But I will say I think they are purposely not showing stuff. They're
Oh.
giving us surface stuff, in my
So
opinion.
optimistic. I mean, I hope
No,
you're
I'm
right.
not. No, I'm not. I mean, my thing is, I think there's more with the Strand situation. I think that how you got a big character reveal, hopefully, or
They
something.
haven't dropped the Callus, the
Yeah, like
Cade bomb.
this-
Sorry, they haven't dropped
if
the
you-
Cade bomb yet, and I'm waiting
you
for
look-
whatever that is.
If you look at it at face value, it's like, okay, we're going to the Immune. Okay, Callus is coming. Okay, I get why Travis is where he's at. I
Yeah.
get it. He's not out of pocket for what he's saying. I will say that. My gut is telling me for the first time, Bungie may be doing the Ebontis. And
Hey, I'm
not
good with that.
giving the big reveal.
Okay.
'Cause I
Yeah, but here's the
feel
thing.
the Cloud. I'm gonna give it to you right. I feel like the Cloud Strider thing. I feel like he's the sub boss. Like he's giving me sub boss vibes. And it's something
See, I
else
don't think we're
going
gonna
on.
fight. See, I don't
Yeah.
think we're gonna fight the Cloud Striders. I do think they are gonna be our allies.
Yeah, no, but I meant to say I think it's the bait and switch because I think there's something with the Strand connection that we don't know yet. That's all. But I'll give it to y'all now. I'm done rambling.
All I'll say is that everyone I've ever spoken to about
Mm-hmm.
Lightfall and asked them where their hype levels are, the only people who say that they're hyped for it, they say I'm hyped about what we haven't seen. No one has ever said I'm hyped about what I've seen so far. I'm hyped about what they showed. And that to me is a red flag, because I feel like only Destiny players can see nothing and go, ooh, I'm hyped for what I didn't see. You know what I mean?
I mean, you're
it's just
you're not wrong.
a counterintuitive thing. Yeah.
I looked through Destiny Reddit, and some people are like, "Are your hype levels for Lightfall maybe not quite there?" And I was like, I saw that Reddit post, and I was going, and that was probably over like the holiday break. We know we're close to it because we're close to the game. We know we're like counting down the weeks, and now we're getting some big information that I can like ooh and ha over. But
Mhm.
theoretically, yeah, we had like the stream and stuff about it, and then we got the environment trailer. But for an expansion, they have been kind of reserved. So, like it does.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's why for me, it's like I haven't seen, Aramis get all frozen and do her thing. It's like I know Callus is kind of there, but I'm like, we're not gonna fight Callus as the raid boss. They never show a raid boss, so we already know there's something bigger and deeper going on there. Do we fight Callus in a campaign? Maybe he's floating around in a Professor X chair. I don't know, because he's definitely not mobile. He doesn't seem like he's like armored up and just like jacked. He seems like he's old, decrepit, and basically atrophying muscles. So it seems like what we see is definitely not going to be all that's there in the story. So that's why I haven't seen the big I mean, Savathun, Aramis, this feels almost a little more Shadowkeep, which was a letdown, but not like I don't want it to be that way. I think as good as the narrative team has been doing, I have to feel that they're hiding stuff, and that's just where I'm at. So hopeful, yes. Hopeful, cautious optimism, whatever you want to call it. And again, Travis could come back and be like, So how's that campaign? And we could be eating our words, and that could be. And he's like, yeah, that 5 is looking pretty good right
could
now.
also be happen though, and I would be happy to be wrong.
Exactly.
Just for the record, I would be happy to be wrong.
I will.
I think it's fair to say. I mean, I will say this off the rip. This ain't blowing away Witch Queens. When we first saw Witch Queen, we were like, "Oh,
no,
it's
Savathun,
on."
Hive Guardians.
She popped out the water, and we were, it was on. We felt tricked. We felt, oh man, like it was on. Like I get it. Like Callus ain't giving me that. Callus is like, yeah, we see you, fam. Like, all right, you got your new Roke hat on. You ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not there with him. Yeah, I would.
Like
Callus.
the Hive Guardians were epic too, and it's like they can't. And the Tormentors, maybe they don't live up, but that's why I was like, I got to see what else is Taniks is the final shape. Please no.
Citizens, don't call her Fat Roke.
Fat Roke.
I am absolutely photoshopping Taniks into Lightfall. Just saying, I did it with Witch Queen. I'll do it again.
Can you also do a Fat Roke thanks to Sinister in
might
chat?
need Fat Roke.
Fat Roke, aka Callus, but
that.
you need like you need a fat Callus like doing the boot thing, kind of. Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that, but I can absolutely get Taniks into Lightfall.
I don't know why, but everybody's spelling Roke wrong is kind of.
It's R-H-U-O-K,
kind of nice
by the way. There it is.
No, I like it that way. I like R-U-L-K for because it's one of those like one of those.
You also probably don't like how I
misspelling.
spelled my dog's name then.
Wait, what's your dog's name?
One of my dog's names is Raya.
Mm-hmm.
R-H-Y-A.
H-Y-A. That's how I would have guessed it.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like this. You know how people spell boy B-O-I on the internet?
Oh,
like it's like one of those misspellings. It's like I like Rolk without the H. It kind of like looks like an internet. That's a meme spelling.
Fair. Rolk.
Yeah. We got Throlk in there. Rolk with 3 C's.
Thick Roke. I'm done.
All right.
Rolk
So personally, the biggest thing about like them reserving back on what they show us is obviously leaks.
Yes.
Because there's this huge argument going on, like, do I want to see them? Yes. Will I rely on like leaks to see them? No. But also, like the last time I was talking about this, someone was like, "Oh yeah, but Bungie isn't showing us anything, and we want to know, and that's why we turn to leaks." And I was like, understandable, just not for me, and I don't want to be like blasted on the internet.
Yeah.
Because before Val came out, someone actually leaked Rogue to me, and I was so dumb, I just forgot about it.
Ignorance is bliss, right? That's the term.
Yeah, no, they showed it to me, and I was like, oh, okay, and then I just forgot about it like 5 minutes later. So like,
what was your impression when you saw Roke at that time? Were you let down at the moment when you didn't know, when there was no context and you just saw a picture of Roke prior to release?
I was like, bruh, did you just spoiler me? Like that was my reaction.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be kind of pissed.
Yeah, but that is always like such an interesting topic of whether you want to see Bungie showing stuff and you don't want to see Bungie showing stuff. Because I am really curious about Lightfall. I know there's so much more that they haven't shown, and I want to see it. But I also, I'm slightly afraid of Lightfall spoilers because it's going to happen.
Such a delicate line for any of us to, and again, none of us walk that same line. Some people like give me everything. So I'm somewhere in the middle. Like I'd like to kind of know where we're going, but I don't need to know the big inciting incident. Like I don't need to know the climax of the story before we start the story. And then, there's a balance of people who want to see absolutely nothing. So, I mean, and Bungie's never going to answer them all. But if they tip a little to the reserved as opposed to the Cade's dying side, I'm okay with that. So
watch Travis, man. According to him, we gonna get that same mission, one strike, and call it a day.
They showcase that's why I became a meme account. They should do it again so I can meme even harder.
Oh, you go crazy with that.
I mean, all I can say is like if they're like, oh, here's the trailer and Zavala sacrificing himself, I'm like, and you broke it. Like that's the thing. Like they better not do that type of stuff in a trailer again.
I don't know, the Cade one just I liked it. I don't know
what the story was about.
How I would feel if they didn't show that though. Yes.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean,
what would happen if they didn't show?
That's the big argument that
you have marketing, which sells copies, and you have the in-game experience of a story. It's like, what if The Last of Us got spoiled at certain points for people? Is that going to be a different experience? Yeah, a little bit.
No. Because here's the difference, E. Let me tell you the difference. The Cade dying was the kicking off point of the story.
Yes.
You have to show that. You have to show that. It's the same reason that they spoiled the Hive getting the light, right? Light bearing
Mhm.
Hive. They spoiled it
Mhm.
because it's the
Yeah.
entire premise of the expansion. What they didn't spoil were the 2 other twists that happen in Lightfall, which were great. And they didn't spoil the twist in Forsaken either, which has nothing to do with Cade and had to do with the Dreaming City and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think you can spoil something if you have something to show, but if
Mhm.
you don't show anything from your expansion, it tells me that you don't have
Oh,
much
that's what your fear is.
That's
Your
where you're
fear
worried.
is like
I
we're not
see,
getting a
yeah.
spoil.
You're
Okay,
like, if
okay.
there's 3
Yeah.
things, you can show the first one, but if you have no things,
just-
then we have a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Let me
right.
just tell you, this expansion feels to me like it's definitely going to have a story mission that's also a strike. I'll just say that, okay?
Good, yeah.
Hey, if we
Just
get
put
more
that out
strikes,
there.
I'm gonna be Okanomed.
There you go.
I mean,
yeah.
I would love a new Muna strike. Okay, I just
Yeah,
love
like,
that
better.
race.
give me a
better.
reason. Give me a reason
Hey,
to go
better.
there.
Yeah, but
You're gonna
yeah,
go back to
I get what you
EDZ
mean.
for one of
now.
these missions in the campaign. Let me just put it that way. Remember when they used to do that? They would just
Yep.
randomly put you
Yeah, they
back
do
on
it to
an old
EDZ.
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, outside of all the TLDR and the TWAB of the last week and a half, we also got just some kind of nice little updates, much less the big sandbox stuff. They basically stated the year 3 catalyst quests for like Ariana's Vow, Symmetry, Tommy's Matchbook will now benefit from the season pass boost like other exotics. Rumble is coming back, and I actually think that's a good thing
Ooh.
because
What's our man gonna love that. What's his name? Was it Lego?
I think Lego. Yeah, Lego. Lego Flash. Yeah.
Mhm.
Rumble does feel like it needs to be a thing because free for alls, practicing your one-on-ones, that needed to kind of be separate, or there needed to be a way to access it somehow. So having that comes like once every 6 weeks, I'm glad to see that's getting a thing. But the biggest one, bye blue Engrams. Oh my god,
Is that
Paul
the
Tassi
biggest
is
one?
so freaking
Really?
happy.
what?
Paul Tassie's so weird. Who cares about this? I really don't understand.
Paul
care
Tassi
about
cares
Paul
about
Tassi care about this. People care about this. They go crazy over blues. They
I know Paul
lose
Tassi
it.
cares, but Paul Tassie's weird. I don't understand any of his opinions.
You PvP, you don't know the pain of all the
You PvP dudes, don't do them like that.
Come on.
I mean,
all I- all
okay,
I'm
so
saying
as a
dude.
PvE player, I don't
It's
really
funny.
care about blues because I
There
never
you
really had
go.
enough.
See the PvP dudes.
But also, I am very good at like postmaster management, so I never
am
really
too.
have it
I am too.
filled.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only people happy or even affected by the blues thing are people who have serious hoarding problems and attachment issues for which they should seek professional help. Those
I
are the
have
only
attachment
people who
issues
care.
too.
Those are different and unrelated to Destiny. Okay.
I mean,
You
when
have to
they
No,
look
I'm
into
in
it.
Blast Furnace.
Oh,
when
there
they,
you go.
When they incentivize you to play in a playlist over and over for a long time, and the longer you're in there, like if you go through a double Nightfall drop right now for
Oh, bro.
the amount of stuff that you can get in like just a couple of strikes, all of a sudden you're like, if you play a strike with a lot of enemies, you're picking up random crap. All of a sudden your character that had some slots, those are full. And then you get like this massive like 7-piece drop at the end of a couple strikes. And you do that in a couple times in a row just because you're like with a group and you're running through. You can fill up everything in like 3 or 4 strikes,
You're
even if
talking
you
about
have
inventory, right?
Yeah, I use.
No, I'm not. I
the
mean, if you didn't have
companion app.
postmaster issues, even if the most diligent postmaster, you're gonna love not spending. Yeah, it's like you don't ever have to. My vault sucks. So I mean, yeah, you can throw me in the hoarder option, but even if I've gone through and managed it and cleaned up stuff, I can still have. What if I'm working on a boss fight over and over and over? Take a dungeon, for example, and maybe somebody
Why are
works
you
on.
doing that? I'm
Oh,
so
companion app.
confused.
Why are you
Just
playing the game,
explain
E?
what's going on. Why are you
Why-
doing
why
that?
am I
Why
Why are
playing
you
the
loving
game?
the game?
Why
are
am
you
I
doing the
playing?
same
So-
boss fight over and
so
over and
all
over?
I
again?
Because I'm
do in
dying
this
on it.
case-
I'm just saying. That's like. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, all I do over in that case, I just grab my companion app, I transfer stuff, and I just delete them, like between
Yeah,
breaks,
that's
I
what I
guess,
do.
yeah.
You can transfer them to your inventory and get rid
Yeah.
of them. That's what I do.
I never really
Y'all
had
animals.
any postmaster problems.
What?
All right. Well, okay. For about half of half of you
Mhm.
guys may care less about the blues being gone.
Oh,
Half
I'm
of
popping
us
bottles.
are popping bottles. Exactly. So
Okay,
Yeah,
here's my real problem with the blues thing.
Yeah,
Most of
what?
the people who I know are happy about blues because they have problems with inventory. Specifically, they keep getting like their shards deleted, right? Because their vault master will push it out or whatever.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is like them solving the thing that isn't the problem. It's like there was an unjust law and people keep getting sent to prison. And so they were like, all right, guys, to address that, we're going to make prison a little bit nicer rather than just fixing the law. Fix the actual problem.
I will give you the currencies. And they even mentioned at the bottom of the TWAB, they're going to talk about the economy. So a future one may actually get you excited if they fix some economy stuff. We'll see. But the other thing is, Shadow said it. You still have to delete the blue. You have to go through the process of deleting the blue. And after 1580, like say this season, they serve you no purpose. So now it's just going to turn
Glimmer.
But now, but no, the point is now
you guys don't have full Glimmer.
Now the whole point is you don't have to go through deleting it for the Glimmer. It's an auto delete. It's doing what it's supposed to do. You use them up to the soft cap.
Glimmer,
You use them up to the soft cap because they are beneficial as you level. And then at 1580, now it's just instantly going to be the materials. You don't have to hold down F or whatever.
That is the only benefit, but that's not what people are happy about. People are happy about the vault space. And all I'm saying is the postmaster should be bigger, or you should be able to hold more shards, etc. They solved the wrong problem and everybody's praising them.
I mean,
you should be able to lock
shards. They changed the light bulb in your prison cell and everyone's excited. Wow. And I'm like,
it's not.
Why are you in?
I was like, again, I get that. It's like, should the postmaster be priorities like exotics first, then legendaries? Blue should never have gone there in the first place. Should currencies like golf balls have more of a higher stack? I 100% agree with all of this stuff. And yes, those would fix some of the other issues, and the postmaster shouldn't be a thing. And yeah, I'm a hoarder. I have my own issues.
And then blues wouldn't really matter. It would be 2 seconds of holding down blues every once in a while. You know what I mean? It's not that big.
But you have to do that for so many. You never will have to go through and hold to delete down a blue ever again. It's just less time.
It's hilarious to me that you're complaining about the 2 seconds it takes to delete a blue, which you could do during loading screen.
But
you're not complaining about you having to grind the same boss over and over and over again, which you're saying that you do voluntarily.
I grinded the boss. I'm saying, okay, I'm literally saying the grinding the boss, because what if you're trying to like learn a solo encounter on like, maybe I'm grinding a Grandmaster over and over and over by myself. Yeah, I'm going to die plenty of times because there's a lot of ways to die. So it's just like I'm grinding a Sekiro. The final boss took me like 4 days. So it's like, that's all I'm saying is, yes, deleting blues is a tedious thing, and it's not necessary at a certain point, so it is a quality of life change. Do I think the economy and the postmaster could have a rework as well? Absolutely. I 100% on board with that. But the fact that blues not wasting your time after they serve no purpose anymore, there is nothing but positivity out of that. That's all I'm saying. It helps in all ways, whether it's time.
I mean, it doesn't hurt anyone. That's the point.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything bad. It's only a benefit to all people.
Only fight negative. Don't let him steal our joy, y'all. Don't let him steal our joy. This is a good moment. It's a good day.
One last complaint, and then I'll let you guys be happy.
Oh my god!
Didn't they already fix this in Destiny 1?
I've heard I heard that it was, because I've heard people mention that places.
In Destiny 1, they already deleted blues. So you guys are congratulating on them on a problem they already solved.
Or was it greens they deleted then?
It was green.
No, I think they eventually got rid of blues too. I can't remember. Anyway, my point is, okay, it was, so somebody's saying it was green, so maybe I'm wrong. Whatever. It's whatever. It feels like something they could have done a long time ago if the loot didn't matter.
Look, I wish they did it a long time ago. I'm with that, but it's like, bro, like, you know what's funny about it? It's that, remember, what was it? The famous moment in infamy with Destiny. It was the Curse of Osiris live stream, and the rewards came up, and they said 2 tokens in the blue. And everybody said, yo, what the hell is this, fam? You ain't make me do this activity so I get it. The blue is the boost. Hold on, I'll let you get your bars off. It's my bars now.
You've had plenty of bars, Travis. You're done.
I've been quiet. So my thing is, the most disrespectful drop after you did some hard activity is to see a stupid blue, and not only that, then it has the nerve to not have an auto dismantle feature. Then it got the nerve to take up my kinetic energy slots. Sometimes I like to have a nice variety of weapons, right?
But
sometimes I like to have the choice, the ability, and here comes this stupid blue.
Cog,
the audacity that serves no purpose, that could easily be sent to the postmaster, easily auto display. Oh, give me some glimmer. Give me some incentive.
They didn't fix the problem. now you're gonna open that same chest and it's gonna be 2 tokens and 200 glimmer. That's the only thing they changed.
I don't even want to see the blue. The blue is disrespectful to my light level. The game is not smart. The game should be smart enough to know I don't need that. Please get your Happy Meal out of here. We did not come for this. I came for a full course meal. They out here giving me these dollar hamburgers. No.
All I can say is for everybody's sake, you don't have to hold. Because, yeah, you can say it doesn't take long to delete a blue, but how much? What if somebody said, hey, Travis, do you know you've spent approximately 12 hours deleting blues over the course of Destiny? Like, if you added up every blue that you've deleted and now you don't need to. Yeah. Shadow's dying over here. Shadow's like, I would rather pay Glimmer than get a blue drop.
Sure.
Oh,
Look, I'm not denying that this isn't an improvement.
Okay.
Never was my argument. I'm happy to not spend the 2 seconds to do it.
And you
I
do,
think
and you do realize
them. Again, if they replaced the light bulb in my prison cell, that would be better than being in a dark cell. Nobody's doubting that. I'm just saying, you're still in jail. You're all still in jail.
We agree. We agree that there's other things they got to fix the facility.
That's like I said.
Be there.
No, I'm with you.
I said the to-do list is not empty. The to-do list is not empty.
The cleaning man came this week. The cleaning lady or the cleaning man came to finally address this.
The sweeper bot. Do it right. It's the sweeper bot.
All you have to do is make the conditions so bad that when they fix you up, you forget that they're the ones who beat you and put you there in the first place.
And
I can see that's how broken you are.
I can see Mo's Twitter account tomorrow, and Destiny is somehow related to Stockholm syndrome. So that's what I expect to see tomorrow. Anyway, no more.
I hear what you're saying.
No more blue engrams. We are free. So the good thing. Matchmaking. There is a very lengthy discussion. There are graphs and predictory accuracy and all of this stuff going on. I know Shadow's in here, so I'll be curious.
I didn't read any of them.
I'm not going to go into detail about a lot of the sandbox stuff, but when it comes to matchmaking, Bungie's goal is to try and have a group of people match made together, and then by their numerical algorithms or skill base or whatever numbers they use behind the scenes, they are trying to get the prediction of who's going to win the match to be a coin flip, or at least as close to it as they can. That's their goal. So whether it's matching or things like that. Now, is it always going to be that way? No. But they're trying to get close to that as possible. We know they're working on fire team matchmaking, which they're going to be working on implementing. It was, I think, in Iron Banner this time. They're going to work on having that be more. They're basically trying to get fire team matchmaking into as many things as possible, starting with the 6s and Iron Banners. And then when they're comfortable that it's working, slowly phase out freelance playlists. So if the fire team based matchmaking is working. And then the other side of things is if freelance is in there, then they also feel like, population can be in a little better shape. And you get to a point where if skill, connection, fire team can find this relatively happy medium, and then they also get into like dynamic skill-based matchmaking. If like the population's low, they widen up the skill. All of these things to say, hey, if 6v6 join into a match, Bungie's on the back end doesn't say, yeah, this team's going to win. They don't want to know that because they want it to be as fair as possible. That is their in-game goal, and that's their long way of saying it and showing it. And even they show, in one of these graphs is they want to get close to 50%. And like one of the changes they made, it was about 65, 66%. Accurate. So that means it's tipped 16% in the direction that the game knows, yeah, we matched you together and we already know this team's going to win. The game knows it before we even start the match. That kind of sucks. Just by some of the changes that they've made, they're already dropping it down like sub 60. So now we're down to like 9 to 10%. So like the closer they can get to 50, and again, if you think of incremental changes, the closer you get, the harder it is. The closer they can get to 50%, the better off they're going to be. And then the same thing when it comes to glory and now competitive. Glory, which if you're in freelance or not, if you're not in freelance, they knew the prediction. It was over like 70% or higher. They would know who were going to win. And then in freelance, it was closer to like 58. Freelance, definitely more of a coin flip, as many of you know. Now they've got competitive, which we know is not perfect because competitive is SBMM, not ranked, but that's a whole different problem. But competitive with teams is about 65, but competitive freelance is about 55%. That's really, really getting close to what their goal is. Now, Is it perfect? 100% no. We get there's going to be outliers. If you're on either end of the bell curve, you could get screwed with connections. If you're in the middle of like Ascendant Nomad who's playing from Dubai or wherever he's at and he's trying to match over here, it's never going to work. There are definitely issues. But this is their goal. Now, for me as a casual PvP player, not a Travis, but not a Mo, I'm somewhere in the middle, not all of one or the other. If I jump in and I get closer and closer to saying I have like a competitive match more often than not, and if I get closer to those times where the blowouts don't happen, I'm not getting mercied, and if I go in as a solo player, I'm not facing 6 stacks, those are steps in the right direction for me, and if that's what they're going for. But do they always hit the mark? No. And there's plenty of times that'll get messed up. And I'm glad they're taking it slow, like 6s. If they put Fire Team matchmaking in and you're like, hey, there's no more freelance Iron Banner. I'm like, cool. If I load into Iron Banner and I see a whole bunch of solos against a 6 stack, I'm going to be like, excuse me, this is busted as hell. Like, I don't want to see that. But if they throw that in there and then I go and I see like a 1, a 2, and a 1, and a 2, and I'm like, all right, then I know it's going to be okay. That's like where I'm okay with it. Now, if somebody like Shadow, True Vanguard, High Echelon, top 1%, Travis goes in there, for example, and he's going to just bust him up in PvP, but he goes in and all of a sudden he's like, connections are bad. I can't find a good player base. Maybe on San Francisco, I end up matching with like, languages I can't even understand the character names. Then yeah, whatever they're trying to do is not working. But I understand their goals and it seems like some of the steps are working. I wanted to get you guys' thoughts just on an overall without like breaking down all the nuance on this. Thoughts? 81.
I'm impressed by their restraint, because the way Bungie tends to be, in my opinion, way overreactive to things that they see on Twitter or Reddit, people talking about to play the game. I expected them to see one GIF of somebody lagging and then immediately be like, "We're reversing all of our decisions about skill-based matchmaking," and just like completely fold. And I'm glad they're not doing that. They're taking an adult approach. A data-driven approach, which not unsurprisingly, the data shows that this is getting better, right? Even despite I'm sure people have had bad experiences with the people they get matched with. It doesn't mean the system's broken. It is a work in progress. It's incremental. They're doing the responsible thing, which is you make small changes and you balance all the different factors that make good matchmaking, and eventually you get as close as you can get at the time, and with the player base you have, to where matchmaking and comp feels good. So I'm very enthusiastic about the changes that they're making. I think it's smart. Keep going, Bungie. Don't listen to the people saying that, as soon as you took anything into account except for connection, you broke the game. That's, of course, extremely silly, and your data shows it. So it's great. This was the part where I was like, okay, that is good. I'm glad that they're doing it, because I often criticize Bungie for being too reactive. I think some of the stuff in this announcement is extremely reactive, as I've stated here. But that one, they
Blues, they're just such a terrible thing.
How dare you have for that light bulb?
Pretty reactive. Hey, how about this?
They took 5 years to put it in. Come on, that's not reactive.
How about this? What about the meme loadouts?
The
all blue loadouts.
You can pull it from collections if you want to.
Rest in peace to the homies.
But I can't try to get my perfect blue roll.
There is only one blue roll. There are no blue rolls. There is a static blue option.
Oh, no. We're talking about 42 Resilience War Mantis here. We're talking about that 42 Resilience War Mantis, people.
That's right.
And you're going to have triple 100 on the first race stats and absolutely 0 on the others, right? That's
correct.
Hey, what you think about this the PvP changes?
I don't play PvP. I have like absolutely 0 saying this. The only PvP information I get, like, I didn't even read the entire PvP section. I never read any PvP sections. I don't care. I have one friend who loves PvP, and I literally just get all my information from him. And whenever he's like, "Hey, you want to play freelance?" I was like, "I don't want to play freelance. I mean, not freelance." He was saying the fire team based matchmaking. He's like, "Oh yeah, when we play, we're only gonna match 1s and 2s, maybe a straight sometimes." And I was like, "Okay." Like, I enjoy PvP in a stack. I would never going solo because it just makes me rage. Like, I am a rage gamer.
That's
But
fair.
yeah, if I have like a fire team, like a full stack, I'll go in, I'll play other 6 stacks. I don't care. I'm having fun because I'm just in a Discord chat talking to
Mhm.
people.
Mhm.
And that's the only time I enjoy PvP. I don't like it. I'm not good at it. Like my KD is like a 0.9. Uh, but yeah,
You're
so
not
I don't
that
really
far
have
away.
a
Just
say
work
in
on getting
this.
that 1.0 little by little.
No thanks. Um,
I tried.
listen,
I tried,
better
chat.
things to do.
Right, I'm
I have
good.
better things to do than playing PvP, like making memes.
So I'm watching
Fair.
Travis's soul leave his.
Look,
She's like just trashing PvP.
She,
We
I
sitting
mean,
there
hey,
like,
she's committed, so
yeah, she's
that's-
committed
No,
to
no,
just
no, no, no.
trashing.
I am
I
not
can't even-
trashing PvP. I respect PvP players, but
It don't
honestly,
sound
I
like
do
it.
not care about PvP at all.
So
But
let me ask
you know,
how do you get your pinnacles then? You don't do the Crucible pinnacles at all? You don't just they just
I am 1601, so no, I don't really get pinnacles.
okay. Say less. Say less. I had to ask. I had to Ducky. Don't encourage it. He wants PvP. Stop it. Okay. No, I mean, I'm sorry if you didn't finish. I was going to jump in. Okay. So
Shoot.
no, I was just going to say like completely agree, Travis. Like this is the right approach, measured, data driven. I gotta be honest. Like I've played a lot of trials. I played a lot of banner these last 2. And I gotta be real, like, is PvP perfect? No, of course, there's some still toxic loadouts and some ability spam and foolishness that you got to deal with here and there. But I ain't going for it. I told you I had a ton of fun with the the turret based Iron Banner. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I didn't feel like I was like with the way the matchmaking was. I was playing against people that were like so out of my league. I didn't have no business playing. Right now, of course, there's matchups in one-on-one encounters that I had. I'm like, man, okay, I'm learning. Okay, Dead Man's Tale is a problem on these type of maps. Oh, hey, I'm learning. You know, certain weapons are a little bit more meta than others, and I was starting to learn what the flow of the meta was this season. But I still never felt like if you played smart, like I never felt like I was out of it. And I have to agree. I feel that's a testament to the skill-based matchmaking, putting me in positions that I feel are more fair. I've played other trials and I mean, trials are still kind of card matchmaking, but I just felt it was a little closer than how it felt in the past. And to me, that's the right direction. So let's see what happens. I do have one concern though. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of the freelance playlist. So I know they want to go to fire team based matchmaking as this ideal state.
Yep.
You know, I'm a little nervous because I do like it. There's some people who still want to just play that way. So I'm hopeful that they'll get to that state where it's still, you know, natural matchmaking and fire team will be actually fair. Because I just, you can relate to me. Like I still shudder as always being the guy matched up, you know, with just solos, and then you're facing the other team, and they have two of one fire team, and then one solo. So I just gotta see. But I'm hopeful. Let's just say.
I mean, Travis said it right. It's not too fast. It's not reactive instantly. We're like, okay, freelance is gone from everything. They could have gone to the extreme with all of this and saying, all right, fire team base matchmaking is on with Lightfall. Every freelance node is gone. You go into trials. We hope it works for you. And then I still end up seeing 3 stacks and hate my life.
Yeah.
No, but I am with you. The fact that I do want it to be accurate when they like they're testing when they do it with if it's Iron Banner and freelance goes away. And I am seeing less and less teams. I'm seeing like 3-3, 2-2, 1-1, lots of ones and 2s. If as long as I'm not seeing a 6-stack versus a very unbiased group, then, you know, I'm going to be happier. And also if it helps them combine playlists for populations, helps with, you know, bigger pool of people, obviously helps with some of the matchmaking for skill and connection both, then I'm good. But yeah, I want to make sure the fire team part works if they're going to drop freelance. Because if it doesn't work, then we go back to the problem we used to have. So it better work if they get rid of it. That's all. Airborne effectiveness is not something I'm hugely keen on, but the general idea of what I'm getting is that primary weapons are going to feel basically as good in the air as they used to pre-airborne effectiveness system with an Icarus mod. A lot of primary weapons are going to feel very good. What's up, Addict, with the $2 super chat? Travis, are you reviewing Forspoken?
This guy needs to stop with that.
That was good.
He literally he tweeted, he DM'd me on Twitter, "Are you reviewing Forsaken?" moments after I had just said I wasn't reviewing it, just to mess with me.
He's a troll. Attic is a big troll, bro.
Anywho, thank you for that $2 super chat. Thank
What
I
you,
do you
saw
got,
the
Lord?
Bro.
Forspoken trailer, and I was really tempting to make a Destiny version of it because it was so bad.
Please do. I would be curious to see that.
I was like, do
yeah.
I want to? Yes, but also it's so cringe that I don't want to make a cringe meme. I mean, that doesn't really say much. I make a lot of cringe memes, but not this one. This one's just especially cringe.
Uh,
So,
Answer
yeah.
your question, Lord Attic, because you paid $2. My friend, colleague, and boss Tom Marks is reviewing that game. He's a very good person to put on that review, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he thinks.
I'm very curious about that. I have not, unless that game surprises in a way I don't expect. I heard one person who actually was excited, but more about the combat. Because they're like, story can be so-so, but if the combat's good, then they're good with it. Fighting Cowboy, he's very much like a Souls YouTuber. And he actually said when he dove into the combat system, he was getting like combos and switching moves, and he changed up some controls where it actually felt better. Story still may not be amazing, but if the combat can get there, then I will be very, very curious how that game reviews. Because in my head right now, it's about a 65. Just from, and I
mean, the demo didn't hit me. I tried it, but hopefully, like I said, the finished product does. But I'm on some wait and see with that one.
Yep. But basically, airborne effectiveness should be better on primaries. Should be closer to Icarus mod levels. And then the special weapons are supposed to be basically reduce the airborne accuracy penalty by 50% on slugs and snipers. And pellets basically have airborne accuracy fully removed. It seems like airborne effectiveness won't go away, which is I know what some people want. But if it's not going away, these seem like very positive steps pretty much on almost everything to help the system be less painful for those who want to embrace it. Because they've also said, because skill-based matchmaking is coming in, the skill gap won't be quite as high. There's a meme on Twitter right now of somebody like, oh, how do I get to that Guardian? They're just like, look up. I mean, as a joke, because, they were saying, well, if you're jumping around too much, you're oppressive to a low-skilled player. And it's like, well, that is skill, so you are correct. But they are now not it doesn't seem like they're going to be as punishing to airborne effectiveness. So I think that's a good thing. It may not be everything that people hope for, but it does seem better. Yeah. SMGs seem like they're basically going to be a little more effective, a little farther, but they're pulling back the kind of far range. It's going to be kind of a tighter window it's effective, a little less far, but they do say like the damage fall off start distance is farther away, so it's actually going to be a little effective, but the end of it's closer. Pulse rifles, probably one of the biggest things for me is recoil on mouse and keyboard is 20% more. So I'll be curious how that feels. They're also having their range basically tightened and brought back a smidge. The BXR, for example, had its zoom come down. Kristen Brown with the $2 super chat. Thank you very much.
Salute.
Sidearms, basically the fall off distance buff that they got in season 18 that was like 30%. Now it's like 20%, so it's a little better. Dead Messenger in PvP reduced wave splash damage against players by 35%, which is going to make that less oppressive. Dead Man's Tale, they are reducing the hip fire accuracy, like cone, angles, precision cone, all that crazy stuff. It feels like it should be harder to just get some gimme shots with the DMT, so hopefully it's not as oppressive. Yeah. Revoker, now the perk only triggers on 2 misses and you'll get 1 bullet back. So you won't be able to fire 1, get it back. 1, get it back. The Revoker in non-power lobbies won't matter quite as much. Mm-hmm. They say in post-Lightfall seasons, we'll be shipping some updates that we're pretty chuffed about. More substantial changes to weapon hip fire reticles, the goal of exposing more information specific to weapon types and exotic functionality. Again, this is, I feel like a shotgun thing, not so much anything. I don't do a lot of hip fire, so I was like, I can't imagine that's going to help too much. A full auto melee setting. I wanted to ask all of you, what is this for? Poof, 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 poof. Like,
Titans.
We're Titans. Come on, aren't you a Titan E?
I mean, I get that, but I don't need a full auto melee. What am I just holding C?
Yeah. No. It's actually for solar Titans with their little hammers. That's what.
Here's what you do. You tape down that button. You just have
old school. Use tape.
I'm a Titan. I don't even punch that much.
I mean, I guess you could use it for glaives a little bit, but I mean, I don't
it'd be
hold.
good for glaives, yeah.
I was like, I don't hold it long enough that I need full auto. I mean, I'll run and I'll hit it a few times. I guess you might be a smidge more efficient. It seems very niche to have that as something they're really excited about.
Clearly, it must have been a demand. That's
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Titan Hammer, if it's full auto, it'll be like 1 throw, pick it up, 2 throw, pick it up, and third one's gonna miss, and you're gonna have to go run after it and pick it up. So that one, I want to know what this is all about. I read that and I was going, huh.
Maybe it's one of their accessibility things.
My keybind is like kind of weird. So I play PC, but I'm on a controller. My melee button is my right stick.
Okay.
So
that's a
usually
Halo
it's fine, but I also love glaives, so it's kind of like a pain to just like stab everything because I have to press my right stick and then like my power melee button, which is a regular melee button, and then just switch between those two. And so I feel like a full auto like melee glaive will be cool because I would love that. Just stab for me.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And then shout out to the new perk on the new glaive close to melee, which really encourages the melee after you get the distance kill and you get that buff and you can keep that buff going. So I guess
I never used a projectile. Now I'm like slightly afraid. Yeah. I mean, the only time I use projectile is when I try to break shields because my favorite glaive was Blue Brace. So I'll break the shield and I have like Grave Robber and Vorpal on it. So I just go and break the shield. I one-shot the wizards in Pinnacle. And then I just immediately stab the knight. And it's just like, it's just so smooth. I love it.
Yeah, shout out
and
to
some people are saying accessibility for the full auto, and that just could be more accessibility features that they're working on. And that's fair. That's stuff.
I mean, it's always good to have more accessibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Big change that I think made the entire PvP community happy, except some of us who probably I don't even use it. But yeah, Titan's Barricade is basically getting ripped in half.
Yeah,
Titan Barricade. Yeah, your wells are fine, you turd.
I noticed there's nothing Warlock got affected. Continue.
Yeah.
Wait, is that saying PvP only, or does it affect PvE as well?
I would imagine
a lot of the stuff is PvP only. There were some things that got PvE nerfed, including the Titan Grenade.
The Titan Storm Grenade.
Storm Nade? Okay, guess I'm going back to Armamentarium and Postnace.
Which is kind of insane, right? Like in PvE, I don't know. Seemed a little weird to me.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't changed in PvE. PvP I get, but PvE, and that's one of those where, because they're changing like its tracking, time of movement, and stuff like that. And I wonder if they get that deep into the functionality, they can't split like how the grenade runs versus like damage amount. I was like, I would wish they could. Believe me, I wish they could split that for PvE, but maybe they just find it too oppressive right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, Ebontis, we're both Titan mains, and I'm not sure if you can stand by it, but I looked at those buffs and I was like, yeah, it's fair. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Titan ramparts and the way barricades are being used, they were kind of spammy and
no, I mean, I get what like
the storm grenade was a little like off kilter, so I'm for fair PvP. I want it to feel balanced.
I'm on board with all that.
That said, the fact that Warlocks can still run around with their Stasis super is insane to me.
Oh god, that is so awful.
No idea how that happens.
Yeah, that Shadebinder needs to get shot in the face.
That is fair and balanced for only super.
Absolutely bull.
Let's talk about these Titan nerfs, though.
You know why it's fair and balanced? Because it's a catch-up mechanic for people who play Warlocks. Because they're playing Warlocks, so they're behind. So then they get their super, and then they get to catch up a little bit. That's why it's fair and balanced.
It's a rough week for the Titan delegation. How y'all?
So I tried Stasis Lock. I believe was it Stasis Warlock? I don't remember what I did, but what happened was my friend popped down a well. This was IB, if I remember correctly. My friend popped down a well, and I stood into the well. I got my super, and I just popped it right there, and the bubble Titan just got frozen, and I just got like a I annihilated that bubble.
Oh
And I
no,
was
it's too
laughing
strong.
down there. I was
It's
like,
funny.
oh my god. I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
No.
screw your bubble. I'm here now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If nothing else, if I'm in Fire Titan mode, you sure as hell should not be able to freeze me. I'm sorry. I'm on fire. That
Well,
was
the ice is
that still
stronger.
probably pisses me most. Yeah, Cosmic Ice. Cosmic Ice beats fire, apparently.
It's not ice, okay? It's a lack of energy. It is not ice. Sorry, I'm not going. I am
You're
going
good.
into the lore nerd mode. It's not ice.
Nice.
Anyway,
It's not ice.
Titan's barricade. Well, this is one thing I actually heard on firing range. They actually mentioned this is a good way to do it because Titans is oppressive. Titans we can get our barricades a lot. I don't use Titans, and believe me, when you face them, I'm not saying it's wrong. Wipe that crap off your face. You say that to us all the time. I'll call you out. Yeah, for our audio listeners, Cog is beyond smug right now. It's really fun. But they said a really good way to do it. If you're gonna have something as powerful as a barricade you can shoot through, then they actually said it increases the cooldown. So now this is something they probably need to, and I thought that was actually a fair balance to it. And then I read this, I was like, they called it. That's actually a fair way. If you're gonna equip it, it has a longer cooldown. Still, now granted, also the amount of damage it takes is 25% more. It takes 25% more damage, so it's easier to break, and you get it less often. So they're shooting it in two different ways. So it's probably not gonna be nearly as effective. If you see people with it, they're just holding on.
Nice. And then disparity users, make sure you put the stasis the extra, to put the Hake one and break the shields board. We want to disrupt those Titans and stop them from putting that in the middle of the battlefield and feeling safe.
I'm just waiting for that moment when I finally be able to get something that can actually get your damn well off the ground. I want to be able to like shoot the well, throw a grenade, and it deletes your well. You can't just sit in
You
this
can shoot the sword. You know you can shoot the sword though.
That well.
Oh, you talking about the regular little one? Oh,
Yeah.
No, we gotta have that. Continue. Don't worry about this.
Yeah. You're like, oh, let me peek behind the corner, and then I see that little crap on the
You
ground.
see that
I'm
little
like,
thing?
yeah.
You know we doing it because you see the smoke, like a smoke signal in the air.
It's not
you know
up,
that Warlock
it's
got a well.
Rift, sorry, not well or rift or whatever. Yeah, empowering rift, or
Rift.
healing rift. Yeah, so the
Travis.
Yeah, the healing rift on the ground. I need some way to be able to delete that.
I'm not
Ready
afraid
for-
of Warlock.
It doesn't last that
As you will.
long.
Okay,
Anyway,
I thought I was gonna get some good slander.
storm grenades with touch of thunder definitely got weaker. The secondary strike is less damage. It moves slower. It doesn't track as long. Basically, it's just a lot weaker. And again, as Travis said, I wish this was PvP only, but as like literally the movement, the tracking, the timing, the whole functionality is changing. I'm assuming they're also nerfing it in PvE. So
I mean, I'm just going to go back to pulse nades with armamentarium.
yeah, I've heard pulses are actually still pretty good. So
Yeah, they're actually really nice with ionic traces, so you can still ability spamming PvE. That's what I had been doing before I got my Hoyle. So yeah. I'm actually kinda tempted to use Titans. I was like, oh yeah, like Titans in PvE
Not anymore.
barricade you can shoot through. But the thing is, every single time I go into PvE, I forget about the freaking barricade. So I just switched to the slide. Because I was like, I don't even use the barricade. I keep forgetting about it. I just forgot its existence. It's the same on the Warlock. I forget I have a healing rift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's playstyle based, because if you got your playstyle, you're not gonna use it. You run it around to your thing.
I was like, and that's mostly it for that TWAB. They say we have a few more of these TWABs, and basically info dumps apparently come on Wednesday, and TWABs are on Thursday now. They've said they've got one coming up over Strand, another one over economy changes, and then more. So you've got a couple big ones. Travis will be running the show when the economy changes coming around, because if it's currency talk, I know he will be here for it. And then I will be curious when they dive into Strand a bit more, because they got to sell me on the green punchy fist as opposed to the blue punchy fist.
I am not buying the green punchy fist, but I'm really looking forward to the missile barrage on Warlock and also the Hunter E-Hall lasso thing. But that green punch,
dart.
I am not using the freaking green punch.
No,
It's just the same punch of the first
I was about
guy.
to say, Echo, do you agree with E? Like, do you feel the Titan delegation, like, it's time now? Y'all need to boycott these new supers y'all getting. They seem to be redundant. It's always the extra arms, shiny, icy arms.
All Titans get punching with ice, punch with your hammer, punch with your shield, punch with your fist, punch with yourself. I'm a T-Crash Titan. And
Yeah, that's why we all
like,
run Thunder Crash or Bubble, because those are the only other two things we get. Everything else is run around and punch.
punch. Yeah, right.
Yep.
So I am not really
Life you
looking
chose.
forward to
Yeah,
big
too many
arm
crayons.
blades,
We don't know how to do
Beyblade.
anything else.
Yeah. Like, what am I supposed to do with it? I am not really like that close range of a player. I'm like more of a mid-long range, like more mid-range now because
yeah.
SMGs. But
I was like, maybe if like these things I can like do like a heavy and it does like a cross, it actually sends like an X forward and it's like a ranged attack, maybe. But again, I'm still attached to my punches and I'm just like, I know I'm a Titan.
If
And maybe
I
we
can-
ate too many crayons and we
yeah,
only know how
maybe.
to punch, but like, I'm
Maybe
just
that's, you know,
if I
the
can launch
representative
the
of
arm
you
blades,
is-
I'll be very happy. You know, just go pew pew pew, launching my little arm blades. I'll be
Yeah,
very
if
happy.
it's
about it.
something like
What
that,
happened to the
then-
flamethrower? What happened to the freaking minigun?
yeah.
What happened? That was amazing. I would love a flamethrower. And they just said, nope, never mind. You're getting the big punchy fist again for the fourth time. Have fun.
Bungie's made a creative decision. That's where you guys are. You just throw you in the front, unintelligent, and just go crash your face into things.
Oh, come on. I am a sophisticated
Classic
Titan.
Everybody knows
travesty.
I
And
am
Warlocks are gonna.
Strategy. See, we're the strategists. We're in the back. We're commanding the battlefield. Mystical power. You
I
get
think
out
you
there.
mean the
You dumb noof. You get out there. Throw your face into the enemy. Let's see if you.
Like, yes,
Dog.
it works.
That's why
Have
we
I
need
been
the strong
punching?
barricades that keep
Yes.
getting nerfed.
Everybody knows that the Titan the real Titan super is that we don't need our super to beat you in PvP. So,
Not
all I
after
gotta
these
say.
nerfs, though.
We can punch without our supers. Yay!
Man,
The
yeah.
barricade was the last thing to keep y'all alive.
Travis,
I don't
just-
even
Stasis, hockey
use
weapons, y'all. Hockey weapons, and put that note on and blast
sorry.
them barricades.
Did you call them hockey weapons? Like
I'm
HE
calling them
double
hockey
hockey?
weapons.
Hot.
It's hockey.
Hockey.
Hockey weapons, y'all.
This
That's
is
it.
we're
worse than
the
me saying
super
Keyword.
Titans.
It's like I
dude.
know what I was gonna say, and this is from the intellectual warlock over here who can't even pronounce the
Intellectual warlock.
foundry.
Me saying
can't-
TWAB. Hockey is worse than
Hockey,
TWAB.
TWAB.
It's worse than
TWAB.
TWAB.
Hockey TWAB. And on that bombshell, we're out of here. No, I'm just but basically. But that is about all we got. We did actually get 2 hours and 15 minutes, a little over. But yeah, a lot of W's this week, a lot of good changes. Some of us like some of the changes more than others, whether you're PvP,
Blues.
PvE, whether you don't care about blues or you do. And we got more stuff coming. Strand deep dive at some point. We're also going to have some economy changes, which that honestly long term might be the bigger one, because we know we're going to have new powers. We're going to have a grappling hook. We've seen that. If we have like a better currency economy or something going on, maybe. Will they surprise us with a change to the leveling system? Being as I saw a picture when your light level looks like 1801, probably not.
Yeah, I
that one
know.
seems to be hanging on. So, but as we wrap up, I kind of want to let you, Mo, at this point, just tell everybody, if they don't know, they probably should, but tell people where to find you, where to find your art, anything you're working on. I know you can't tell us who you work for. I know that's a secret. So,
Oh no, I'm not under NDA or anything. I just prefer to be mysterious.
oh, that's fine. I mean, you can continue to be mysterious. But just, you
I
know,
will
let
continue to be.
everybody to know where they can find all your stuff so you can get even more support than you had.
You can find my stuff on Twitter. I know, right? That is super specific.
Would you?
yeah.
What's the name or any
Yeah, you
your
know
alt accounts or
me.
anything?
DTM. Art accounts Everdrift if you like art. I do. I think art. I think art is pretty cool. But yeah. That's pretty much it. Yay.
Yeah, Destiny the Meme. Go check her out, and then you'll probably end up falling into her art and stuff from there.
Yeah.
Absolute.
So many
Yes.
people don't know on my art account. They're like, "Oh crap, you also run Everdrift?" I was like, "Yeah, I do."
Super talented. No, salute to have you in there. A lot of fun. And I forgot to mention, I want to give you your props. I love that, Bungie recognized you in the community spotlight. That was like super cool, and just to see them kind of give love, because you're creative. Like your beams are on time. And they hit. So salute to you.
I
on that.
try my best.
No doubt, no doubt. What else is going on with everybody?
Yeah, it's Travis. What do you got? I know you can't tell us, so we'll talk to you
Yeah.
for about the fun stuff in like a month or something. I'm sure.
Well, no, I think in the next, by the time the next show happens, the stuff will be public and I'll be able to talk about it. I think mostly. So yeah, we'll we'll see you next week. Destiny the Meme, nice to chat with you, fellow
Yeah, really
meme
nice to meet
lord.
you.
Nice to meet you. And yeah, you can find my stuff on IGN.com. I got a preview coming out, review coming out in the next week. got some news articles up there you can read if you care about Dungeons and Dragons. I put some stuff
Ooh.
up about that. Yeah, you can watch Bitcast. We had our first show of the year last Sunday without Hogue, which I thought was a pretty nice show. And we're going to be going again on Sunday. So
Nice.
see you around. Follow me on Twitter at TyGuyTravis if you care to. If you don't care to, tell your enemies that they should follow me on Twitter. That'll show them. All right, that's me.
I'm gonna start using that.
Yeah,
I like
it's a good
that.
one.
That looks good.
Cog, you?
Yeah, just getting ready for this week. Again, salute to everybody. Show some love. Defining Dukes up, and then Iron Lord podcast this Sunday. I think we have special Dick. I just got to confirm with Australian time, but that should be interesting. And then yeah, just same old stuff. Getting ready for Lightfall prep. Trying to get my weapons, everything straight up, and all these new changes. So salute to DestinyTheMeme coming through. A lot of fun. And E, what you got going on?
Yeah, just keeping up with kind of all the Destiny content, trying to see if I can wrap my head around some of these changes before we actually get to see them in game. But big shout out tonight. Thank you, Mo, for coming through. DestinyTheMeme. If you guys do not follow her art accounts. Join the massive collection of people that already follow her, and you will be...
You can hate follow me. It's okay.
Hey, it's totally fine. You can do it either way. But I will tell you, you will be entertained because there's likely a meme coming in approximately every 8 hours, because it seems like there's about 2 or 3 a day, so you're never too far away from another good moment of entertainment coming from her.
I don't know how I pulled that much out of my brain.
Well,
it just happens.
Keep it going.
They manifest.
Yep. But yeah, for me, probably work on solo Flawless Spire at some point is something to do. And then we do have a little downhill. We didn't even talk about the story wrap up. We'll get to that next week.
About that.
That's okay. We'll get to that next week.
All about that.
But for now, yeah, we did get an announcement. There's an epilogue, literally on your screen.
Okay.
Yeah, literally on the screen when you log in, it says last 2 weeks of the season there will be a quest/activity. So there's like an episode. We finished the story now. There's an epilogue we know before Lightfall. So that's one thing as well. So
and I've got 4 exotic quests in my inventory.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
ready to go. Let's
refit.
Do it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you need to run that, by the way, just find me if I'm online, because I've run that so many times. It's fun and easy to knock out.
You never play with me. I always send you invites. Just ignore me. He sends me photos in DMs of him flipping me off, and then he doesn't respond to the request. And I'm like, dude, I just asked to party up with
Facts.
you.
Yeah. 100% true. You guys know me all too well. I'm just that guy.
Yeah. Just so savage.
Yeah. But thank you, chat. You guys have been amazing. On fire tonight. Absolutely hilarious. Mo, thank you for joining us. You brought some great entertainment to the show, as I expected. You and Travis were polar opposites. I didn't expect the entertainment of that nature quite as far apart, but it was good. And then we figure out Travis doesn't like fun because he is okay with just swimming in blues. He would have a ball pit that is full of blues, so he is surrounded by blue balls, and he would be okay with that.
I need this to happen.
Have you ever watched Fireteam Chat? That was that entire show. That was literally it.
Yeah, the end of Fireteam Chat with Travis and Paul in there. That was fun. But yeah, thank you guys very much. As we wrap up this episode, thank you guys. Episode 233, January 19th. We're counting down the weeks until we get to Lightfall. So thank you guys for another one. We'll see you soon. And for this episode, it has been
the last word.
The last word.
Last word.
Bang, bang.